Gearheads, welcome to the best show on the YouTubes. That covers the most handumest, most beautiful man this world has ever known. That's right. It covers me. The next Howard Stern, except with all the edges around me are sanded down for safety. Anyway, me talking is taking time away from others talking about it. So let's get to it. And by it, I mean me. Here is tonight's host of GEARBOX. The porcelain punisher. The bathroom bully. You know him as Yawn Not John. One yawn toilet.
Hello, everybody! I hope everyone's having a great day. I had to mute that because we are sending a lot to StreamYard and they don't seem to like it. So we're going to send less to StreamYard because they have a very bad service and I think I wouldn't even eat their poop. That's how bad their poop is. I hope everyone's having a great day. Did you all see the Blind Mike project this morning? It was amazing. It caused very little diarrhea at the studios today, which is very rare. Usually they talk so much crap about Hackride Studios that everyone's pooping around here. It's so runny. I have to get the fiber ready for that day because it's going to be a runny day. But today I got loafs. Thank you for the loafs. So I hope you watched. I hope there's someone to help me. Is DJ Electra there? Because I don't think I can do this on my own. I'm just a toilet. I don't have arms.
I'm here, Yawn.
You're very loud. Am I as loud as you?
Am I loud? Okay.
Very, very loud. Which is okay because I have one ear in this toilet paper. So that's fine. I like you loud. I like when you fart and queef at the same time. Girls do that.
Never,
you know.
never happens.
No, and sometimes they fart and it goes up in their vagina. I've seen it. I don't know how to describe it other than a transfer of wind through holes. I'm like, give me the smell. And they're like, no, we were going to hold it on for a little while longer.
Okay. That happens. Yeah.
It does. But don't put your tampons in me, ladies. We have talked about this. I get all clogged up with tampons, and then it gets really weird down there because life forms start growing in the blood, and I think they're partly human, so don't do that.
Okay.
How was your day, DD Electra? I noticed you didn't poop on me. Are you eating okay?
Yes, I'm eating just fine. Am I still too loud?
No, you sound good now.
Oh, good.
Yes, you sound like you are just farting or queefing and not both.
How was your day, Yawn?
My day was okay. I ate some poop in the morning. I usually do my poop eating in the morning, and then people just kind of forget about me until they drink or poop at night. I wish I would have had a fat guy. We need more fat guys at Red Hackride Studios. I hear they poop all the time.
Awesome.
And then Hackride, he gets pictures from people. We're really one person, and he didn't even ask for it, but he keeps getting pictures of poop, and I get so jealous because I want to eat it, but it's already being eaten when I get the picture.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. We don't have to talk about it.
Did you watch the Blind Mike project for today?
I did.
Was it amazing, or was it just me?
It was fantastic.
Yes, and I'm not just saying that because my boss and said my favorite red-faced demon Pooper was on my show today. But, you know, it did happen as coincidence.
Yep, it was good stuff.
Yes, would you like to see the thumbnail for today's show on the Blind Mike Project?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a thumbnail reveal. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
There it is. That's it. Do you like it?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a little creepy, but I like it.
Why do you say it's creepy?
Just a little bit. I don't know. Priests kind of creep me out a little.
Well, that sounds like a personal issue that you had to.
And is that Stuttering John as like a Buddha?
Yes, we have Stuttering John as a Buddha. We have Santino as a preacher with Gigi Fenderson. It's kind of like I tried to make it like Bobby. Well, Hackride tried to make it like Bobby Lee was getting an exorcist from all these preachers. And see on the right there, that's Joe Rogan as the buff Jesus. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
It's a lot going on. I do like it.
Oh, that's good because they tried really hard on it.
Awesome.
Okay, so that is the. No, I'm not. Stop it. Don't say that. I don't think we can say that on the air. Can we say that on the? I mean, I love that word. I'm going to say it if we can say it, but I don't think we can say it.
Say what
He
word?
said it again, so we can say it, people. Okay, so go ahead and say that word here. That's okay. Hey, let me tell you something else that's kind of the R word. Our shirts, yes. Come and get a shirt. Look at that thing weighing. Oh my God, these shirts are so great. You can wipe your diarrhea in them or use them for the oil rag in your car. Because don't wear them. I mean, it's terrible. But if you wanted to wear them, here they are. They're $16. What do you think they do? Like, if I do like a hippie selection?
Yes, I do. And I would wear it.
I would too. I'd cut up the sleeves. I look like Krager's because Krager's likes to pull up his sleeves so he can show off his guns.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that's available at hackrideandemon.com. You can buy that shirt for 12 more hours, probably 10 now. Better get over there after the show and get your weird shirt. If you take a picture with your shirt on, I was going to say we'll do something for you, but you're just, no, we'll send you a cameo, a hackio. Okay, that's what we'll do. That's our new money here. Our money is cameo, so we can give those away. Not you, DJ Electra. Your time is too valuable, but us is okay.
Okay.
Yes, okay. And I would like to say that DJ Electra also did a great job on a song Hackride sent her. Would you like to see it?
Okay.
Yes, because we need more
'Cause I made
branding. Would you like to see the thing you made?
Yes, please.
We need more branding for this show. That's what this is. David Collins will get you. I love you. I'm looking at your face and I just want you to poop in mine. So here we go. This is a video done by DJ Electra.
My gear in the box, you put my gear in the box. Shouldn't you go off? Take out your gear, that's why you're here. Now just put it in the box. Gearbox, 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 anyone. Do it gear, put my gear in your box, and you go off. Take out your gear, that's why you're here. Now just put it in the box. Gearbox, 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 gearbox.
I think it's a hit, DJ Electra. I think you gave us a #1 hit.
Awesome. Thanks, Jan.
Yes. I would play sound effects, but apparently my sound effects are all slow tonight because I'm a 3D character.
Oh, bummer. So I see you have some sunglasses behind you. What's the
Yes.
significance?
Have you seen the Blind Mike show? He wears sunglasses. That's the significance. That's all. No
Okay.
deeper. This is not a Stanley Kubrick type situation. Although I would like to think that people dig deeper into my art and maybe think there is something deeper there. No, on this one, it's just he's blind and there's glasses.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I like it.
Speaking of glasses, and speaking of a great talent, even though you didn't say that, I'm going to pretend you did, because when we cut into a clip, no one will know that you didn't. Anyway, the greatest online chess player the world has ever seen. Would you like me to bring him to the stage? He's also possibly the next David Letterman, which is great because the other one I think died. No one's seen it. Please tell us if you're alive, David Letterman. Anyway, this is the new one, so we can just replace him. Okay, everyone, welcome to the show. The man, the myth, the legend, David Collins.
David Collins.
Hello.
Welcome.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, of course, I'm certainly not the best chess player that anybody has ever known.
You're the only chess player that they've ever seen on TV, so that makes you the best.
Well, that may be 1 point there. And I certainly am not the next David Letterman.
King me.
I cannot grow
King
a
me.
beard
Is that how
like
it works in chess? I think it works like that. You king me now.
You're thinking of droughts.
Oh, I thought it was Parcheesi. I thought it was Parcheesi. You got me, David Collins. I missed you, and I missed your poop. Your mustache
Well,
is
hello,
nice and trim.
John, and I understand.
Yawn, it's yawn. It's how you
exactly.
yawn.
Is that right? You do pronounce it yawn. May I just call you Jay?
You can call me Yay.
Is that not offensive?
No, I so many people put their yay in me when they knock the police are here, and then it's like party time for me.
Well, that's perfect. Anyway, all I was trying to say is thank you, Jan, and thank you, DJ Electra Fry, for having me back on the show today. And thank you, the audience. Hello.
It's our pleasure, David Collins.
Welcome back.
Yes, and I saw you. Don't look away from me, David. Make eye contact when you're in an interview, please.
It was not long. You're exactly right. It was only a couple weeks ago that I interacted with you, Jan, and of course, Hackride this morning.
Listen, I don't speak for the demon because, he has his own things. But I did enjoy your appearance on the Blind Mike Project today. And guess what?
Very sweet.
Yes, no, it was better than your usual appearance, which I think it's because I miss your poop. I think if I had your poop every day, I would be like, it was okay. But because I haven't had your poop in so long, I missed it. And it was
right,
an amazing
it may have
appearance.
just been that long lack of exposure on another show like that. Hopefully, we don't have the reverse effect this evening.
We're pretty much family now, so let's take it all back to the beginning because I want to play you a song.
Hackride and I do talk on the phone. I wish it was more, but it is semi-regularly. I would say that. Not a lot of people know this, but we actually have an informal relationship.
All right.
Are you sure you're talking to Hackride? Because I think you may be talking to a troll who says it's Hackride. Your number does not come up over here.
Numbers, actually. I have a studio
neither
number
of them
and I have
come
a
up over here.
Number.
No, we were told to block all your numbers. But let's watch your video.
Show with David Collins.
Are you just starting an episode?
No, we're gonna dance.
David Collins.
David, if you love me, you'll dance with me.
David Collins.
David Collins. David Collins. David
Right.
Collins. David Collins. David Collins. David Collins. David Collins. David Collins. David Collins. And David Collins.
Hey, David Collins.
As I
David
recall,
Collins.
this thing goes
David
on and it goes
Collins.
on
David
and
Collins.
on.
David Collins.
David Collins. David.
The animation, though.
I just put your links in the chat, David. That should buy us 2 minutes.
I wanted to comment too
David
that
Collins.
GEARBOX song was some phenomenal production value.
David Collins. It was, yes. Have you ever put your gear in a box, David Collins? David Collins. David Collins. David Collins.
That's interesting. It's funny that you say that around the time of this Dune 2 popcorn box. There's been a lot of talk about, hey, I thought it was supposed to go in the other end.
David Collins. David, did you fuck your Dune popcorn box? David Collins. Did you put your penis in your Dune popcorn box, David? Don't do that.
I did not see the movie, although I was watching the Oscars earlier. Speaking of movies, it was the 96th annual awards this year. Today.
I don't know what those are. Those words make no sense to me. What is an Oscar and what are these?
You're not familiar with the Academy Awards? Well, there were some movies.
Academy
And of course, they have some
Awards? That
Academy
sounds
Awards. It was actually the 50th anniversary of a streaker. The 46th annual Academy Awards had a streaker that ran through during a nomination. And this year, John Cena talked about Best Costume and read the nominees for Best Costume while in the nude.
David, that is an amazing big black pipe behind you.
And we're really probably the first show that's going to be reporting on any of the Oscars news, in fact, because it is still airing as we speak.
How many other black pipes do you have in your house?
It's a great joke. So what's on the agenda today?
Let me ask you, Dava. I think David is an amazing performer and an amazing guy. Yes, and I've heard him talk to Hackride on the phone, and he's like a normal guy. Let me ask you, David Collins, can you hold up your hands? I don't see. Is that a poppers? What do you have in there? Oh, it's a micro. Oh, it's your vape. The vape of the day. The vape of the day on GEARBOX happens in 17 minutes. Congratulations, David Collins.
Oh,
that was
that's
an
fun.
amazing vape. It really was.
Of course, I just have a regular today. Last time I appeared on one of your shows, I had a much more extravagant drink. Today we just have a vodka and seltzer.
David, when I looked at your fingers there, I looked at your hand and I didn't see any marriage finger stuff. So it looks to me like you're a single man. Now, David, would you go on our new dating show here at Hackride Studios? Would you go on dating on Hackride Studios with David Collins? And
Well,
we
I
could
suppose I may be open to that idea of sorts. Doing it through a Hackride Studios event, I would be much more away. Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing that with these cartoon characters that you influence yourself with.
we can get you a big buff
Interact
guy.
with.
You're a
I have
little
been
otter.
drinking this evening.
That's fabulous. What are you drinking, David Collins?
Oh, I've just gone ahead and explained that. I think we're past that. But I mean, I can't imagine who are your contestants. Wendy, that woman that dances. You know, I'm not much of a dancer.
Well,
Oh,
there's
I
other-
think we can get some really good contestants for you. We're gonna
David
pick
Col-
them out specifically for you, David.
Yes, David Collins. Did you see that we can get? We know people, and we can get great contestants. Maybe we get her. Don't David Collins? Wouldn't you love to date her? Isn't she a pretty lady, David
Well, generally, I
Collins?
don't prefer blondes. I'll say that much.
Oh no, but the booby's good, and her poop tastes like a lot of estrogen, which means she's very feminine, David.
I think she has too many fingers too. What's going on with those fingers?
You like David Collins likes women with less fingers than normal. I get it, David Collins. It makes the hand jobs very unique.
Or they were long. There was something going on with those fingers. I'll tell you.
I think you have taken the brown acid, David Collins. Don't eat the brown acid, David Collins. Never eat the brown acid. But I think it's time that we do some actual stuff with Blind Mike, because if he's watched this far, he's probably really hating himself for letting this happen in his life. But
Well, I think are you doing this through the Blind Mike channel? Is this on the Blind?
hell no! You think you give me access to that for this?
Oh, then I think you just have fair use to do this without anybody's permission.
Yes, I thought about stealing
This
it
is
one day,
a
but-
fan channel, you might call it.
Yes, you do not take someone's channel or stream on their channel without asking. That's like pooping in a bathroom without asking, and I need permission.
Well, some people would say, you know, it's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
I call it anal
Yes.
consent. We need anal consent. We can't just force our way into a toilet.
Never
you
heard
have to
that.
ask. Oh well, you better. Well, you've gotten lucky, Dave. Do you not ask? Do you not ask the toilets that you're pooping in if it's okay if you drop a load? You need to ask, David.
He's meditating.
Well, I just hate to interrupt. You insisted that we move on with the show.
Especially in crowded airport bathrooms, and you have to be loud. We have bad ears.
Never been to an airport bathroom that was crowded. These airport bathrooms are prolific. They have many stalls. They have many urinals. There's never an
Prolific?
issue with these airport bathrooms.
I have never heard a toilet be called prolific. Am I prolific? Am I like the Jordan of toilets? Am I prolific, David Collins?
Well, these bathrooms are proliferated all over the airport. Is all I'm saying. I've never had an issue. Although I
Proliferated?
don't
Is
fly,
that
I
a
really have
word?
protested flying for many years now, and I think many more people should. Now we have wheels falling out of planes from the sky. You know, if we would have all
Oh,
just backed
no.
off many years ago, things might have been different.
I don't like that things like that are bad, and I especially don't like when the wheels fall off the plane because it drives. Wait, no, it flies. I'm okay with the wheels falling as long as the wings don't fall
What?
off.
Then maybe they have to land in a river.
Yeah, landing would be good.
I don't know. I watched this movie solely like 100 times. It seems pretty easy just to land anywhere. David Collins, you should be a pilot. I would trust you landing my plane in any river.
My vision is not the best. I'll say that much.
Okay, well, that's good for you. I'm proud of you for that.
I think you have to have very good vision to be a pilot.
You seem to have very on in the day that would say that you have eye.
Although I suppose these planes mostly fly themselves anymore. Anyway, speaking of flying themselves, the show certainly doesn't fly itself, does it?
Well,
no.
especially when our next little clip package wasn't downloaded until 5 minutes before the show, and now I'm
see.
downloading it right now. But that's not my fault. That's maybe a Fry lady's fault. I don't know, because her poop tastes like strawberries, so I don't like to blame her for things.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
It
don't
might be
think
my
that-
fault. Everything is my fault. Just blame Electra.
Yes,
So-
please do, and send all lawsuits to Electra. Are you ready to watch this week's Blind Mike project that you were on again?
Well, would you just give it one more moment?
Yes, let's just sit here in contemplation.
I thought,
Moment
we
silence.
watched a clip this morning, and it included a moment of silence, and I thought that was a great way to start a show.
I
do
agree.
that.
Yes. Let's think about all the beautiful young people that pass away at the border trying to get into America. Everyone close their eyes and think of the undocumented, please. David, are your eyes closed? I can't see if your eyes closed. Okay, I'm just going to...
Well, that's probably appropriate.
Okay, we're back. That was important. That really calmed me down. Thank you, David. I
Great.
think you
So what's on
really-
the agenda today? I'd really like
Okay,
to.
yeah, let's get to the show. My
I was
bar
watching
went
from the
away.
background. I said, wow, he has a full intro, and now I've been a part of the show for an equal period of time, and I feel like, well, I suppose we watched. That was a nice intro. Go on.
Thank you.
I suppose just compliments of the Hackride, mostly. Jan, I think you might be a little rusty on this.
I don't rust. I'm porcelain.
Good point. Is this the waiting room? Is this what we're experiencing?
We like music around you, David Collins.
I
know
do.
you
I
sit
feel
out there
music
and
should
put
be
the corn in
incorporated
your
in more
apple.
shows. I completely agree.
Your generation needs to learn patience. This is how we stretch the show to make it 2 hours. Come on, David. You need to
Oh,
learn
is it
the
a
ways of the
2-hour
YouTube-
show? I was under the impression that you were intending to make this an hour to 90-minute show, and that your 2-hour shows were just an early presentation style episode.
I will do a half hour on that black pipe behind you if you don't shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm just here to enjoy the time.
We don't do enjoy the time here, David.
I suppose I should take my coat off and stay a while, huh?
Are you sweating? Can I see your sweaty armpits?
No, it's actually very chilly in the States this evening. But it will be
that what-
70 tomorrow.
When you get cold, do you stand behind the black pipe a lot?
Your viewers must be so frustrated.
They have learned to grow accustomed to it.
Well, I suppose maybe this is the gag. I don't know what other guests you might have had on the
Oh,
show.
look at
I understand you had WATP's Carl on the show. Is this how you? Is this how you and him interacted also?
I wasn't on that
Yes.
show. He was too red faced yelling at Blind Mike, so I just sat there and listened. I was
Right.
as I am now. I was a receptacle for the bullshit.
Well, if anybody does want to interact with me during the show, make sure you email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com.
Yes, and I'm in the chat, so please feel free to share them, Andrea or DJ Electra, because I want people to reward David Collins for the torture that he will go through for the rest of the show.
Of course, yes. His channel has been shared. We're going to keep sharing it.
We have one of your family members, David. David, don't go anywhere. We have to send you pictures of them and maybe, do bad things. We're not very good over here. We run by a demon. Are you aware? Here we go.
I hope
Let's
it's not
watch
the same one that's been in that plane accident. There's burns all over its body. It's very terrible.
No, we went around and looked for the one that said they liked you. It was hard. It took like a year.
It's the talk of the town. Blind Mike Project.
DJ Electra, this is really long, though. He's got a point.
I know. I realize that now. Okay, thank God it's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, a man who overcame Lauren Compton's breasts the way Beethoven overcame deafness. The man, the myth,
The best
the
joke ever.
2024 Democratic voter.
I do owe a
Blind
Mr. Snake a thank you. He had a compliment in the chat during the Blind Mike show at some point, and I did not mention it, and I appreciated that compliment. It was shown on the screen at some point, and I forgot it, and I made a note of it, but I did not mention it later. Thank you, Mr. Snake.
Yes, he's
Thank
here
you.
now, so good. You can thank him now. Great.
Yes, and please
Reviewing my
feel
notes here.
Yes, and feel free to interrupt the well-constructed content with your unfinished content. That would be great.
Belated.
I'm not sure I like my new friend Lauren Compton being spoken about that way. Also, not sure I understand it really.
Look at Craig's guns. That's the tiniest shirt Craig's ever worn.
You survived her boobs, dude. They could have killed you.
I think he's taking a
Yes.
note from Rogan.
I don't know what that means really, but
Yeah.
good to hear from the Army mate.
Blind Mike doesn't know what it means to be killed by boobs. He's never met DJ Electra. Hey-yo.
Oh, God.
Adrian, maybe
They killed like 5 cancer patients.
No way. But Craig is looking pretty hot in his dad bod today. I gotta say.
Would you? Okay, put a 1 in chat. All the ladies, if you would do Craig. Put a 2 if you are still grossed out by his orange skin and his I'm sure his weird skin fat that's everywhere that hasn't gone away yet. Now it's just hanging over his penis like a pancake over the top of his little peener. So number 1 if you want that, ladies, and number 2 if you don't. David, what would you vote?
I'm not sure. I bet Craig pays.
Did the 2. Until he pays in as a 1.
it's fitting because it may not be the last we hear from the Army Major today.
What a great costume.
Is that from Carvent last night at the Carlson? I haven't seen that. Someone came as Blind Mike to the fucking Carlton at the at the creep off, not the creep off. What was it? The Reddit. What are they? Surfing goddamn Reddit.
Subreddit surfing.
Thank you, DJ Electra.
You're welcome.
My brain is only filled with water and sometimes chlorine. But that is awesome. Blind Mike, you were there.
They may be the only cosplayers to draw looks from bronies.
I'm wearing the same hat right now, too.
Oh, I hope not the one on the left.
No. Is that a person in there?
Yes.
Do you see a face inside of the mask?
It just scared me. If you look inside the face, you see a face. Oh, it scared me. He's looking at me.
It's creepy.
Do you think he's smiling under there?
I don't think he smiles.
Real quick,
He's like you. You guys should go to an island of the non-smilers.
before we bring on our guest, I wanted to show you a photograph that I was just sent.
Yeah, this
I need a pair of eyes to explain this to me.
is do you want to say who this is from? Or do you
It's
want
from the great Cardiff Electric, friend of the program, who, shout out to them, they were doing subreddit surfing this weekend in Rochester.
Yep.
I saw Vinny Paulino trying to eat into our audience, quite literally, by advertising some brunch that he's doing. Oh, wouldn't that be great? I've spoken to the man. I can't imagine sitting down for a meal with him is that all that intriguing. But
Here's the picture.
what is it?
I had no clue until you told me who sent it on the left and you on the right.
Yeah. So what? Evidently, it's a man dressed as me,
That's not AI.
That's what I thought.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
just assumed it was like a Photoshop, but then I was like, why would he bother sending that to me? And then he said that the guy doing it was dressed as Chad Zumock at DabbleCon.
That's very funny. I thought that was AI the entire time until you just said that.
Welcome, David Collins.
Now, a man you can also go follow on all platforms is our guest today, my good friend, who I've missed very much.
Me
The
too.
great Dave.
He doesn't call Hackride his good friend.
Well, we have become good friends. You know, I've done my best to assist him in the background on some secret things if I'm able. And of course, anytime I send him a compliment, and he's sent me plenty, and it's been very sweet. And we've been keeping up a little bit. I've been happy to maybe even call him a friend.
Yes, it is a very weird place. For a while, he doesn't consider you a friend, and all of a sudden he does. And then someone better comes along, and he's like, no, he's better friend than you. And I hope that doesn't happen to you, David Collins. I'm just saying, cheaters cheat.
Well, he said for many months now, he said, you know, maybe even if we have a long-term friendship 45 years from now, you know, so it's a more of a long-term, you know, we don't need to talk every day or anything like that.
I'll be dead in 45 years, David Collins.
Even in this show, you know, I was happy that he reached back out and had me on. It had been, you know, I think about 6 weeks. So it was perfect, you know, and I'm happy. I don't need to be around too often, but it's so great to interact with some great people.
I just looked at my warranty and it said 12 years. You better renew it and you better keep me around, David Collins.
It's always good to have you on the show, David.
Well, it's so great to be here. Hello.
Hello, buddy. How are you?
Hello, Mike. Hello, Craig. And hello to the Blind Mike audience. And thank you so much.
Can you describe how sexy you were this morning compared to how sexy you are now? What happened?
Well, I was just waking up. I had rushed to the shower. I had a large coughing fit for my morning here. I've been getting over you know, I've been even saying I was going to joke, you know, I think my hair was making me sick. I went ahead and flow-beat it all off in between shows today. That's, you know, it was
That's good that you that joke, because the Floby joke would not have worked. That is not a good joke.
Oh, well, the Floby was the true part. I obviously, of course, don't think that my hair was making me sick.
That's good, David Collins, because I found that only pubic hair makes you sick.
Is that true? For having me back on the show. Of course, we've already spoken a little bit before the show. We were doing a little riffing, and so I should say hello to the audience.
I appreciate that.
You know, there's a trend online where people do cheap create.
You could have done a funny bit where you asked a question and then no one understood what you were doing, and then you would have answered it here. Is that now just hitting your brain that you could have done that?
Well, I didn't. Yeah, if I could have spoken to myself in the future in some way, that would have been an interesting. Yeah, maybe you could have sent me that idea, actually. In the future, you really could be more. Hackride doesn't go out of his way to reach out and send me ideas. Jan, you could go out of your way and reach out and send me some ideas. Of course, I'm very busy. You know, we're working on so many projects in the background here. It's always great if I could get something else to put in my notepad.
I would do it if you send me boxes of poop. Though I know if you do that over the state lines, it becomes a federal issue.
That's true.
I won't turn you in. I promise. Just send me your poop.
Recreation of scenes from anime with cheap cosplay ideas, and I like that your audience is kind of doing the same thing with your universe here.
It seems that way. Yeah, they're representing the Blind Mike project in Rochester. I appreciate that.
Fascinating.
I think there'll be some David Collins impersonators soon enough out there.
Wouldn't that be interesting to see that at a con of some?
That would have been amazing if you had a David Collins impersonator come on and do the show tonight. David, you need to talk to me.
It is fair to say that on the season finale of season 1 of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, we had Elvis Ali, who is a very accomplished stand-up comedian who tours the country helping homeless areas in the area or whatever he's doing there. He collects socks and gives them to homeless and nursing homes in different places that he's doing comedy, and that's how he sells the show. He says you can come, but you have to pay with socks or underwear or a donation, and that's how he kind of does it. But he did do a bit of a David Collins impression and dressed up in a costume when he appeared on episode 29.
That's amazing. And specifically for the stuff that he gets, did you get your glasses from him? Did he collect those from the street or a homeless person? He's like, David, I have something for you.
Well, I have a large variety.
I think I might be David Collins for Halloween.
I think I might too. Or I think I'm going to be his producer because no one's seen him, so it gives you a lot of creative license.
Right. I hope somebody dresses up as Austin Ingalls.
No one will do that.
Sort.
Well, follow David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show wherever you get podcasts. Go subscribe on YouTube right now, for God's sake. And
Thanks so much for
watch out.
mentioning that. Of course, joking.com. What an obsession for about 3 months of mine.
Yes.
But we
Sorry,
are
I
filming,
brought-
of course,
sorry I
this
brought
David
it up.
Collins 30-minute half-hour reality show. Right. I'm excited to announce
God.
our first episode of David Collins 30-minute half-hour reality show will be out this Wednesday. I
Oh,
just
that's very
reviewed the
exciting.
first
And that's
21
following
minutes of
your
it earlier
comedy
this
career, your
afternoon.
buddy.
Exactly. It's certainly going to be coming out on time, and we're looking forward to it. Of course, yeah, I feel so much more confident about my stand-up comedy today, so it's almost disappointing to release the first week of stand-up comedy, but it is the show, and we're only going to see improvement. But I hope everybody enjoys the concept and how things are going there.
David, I think you are going to be an amazing stand-up comedy guy. I think you're going to be one of the best that ever does it. And I have a challenge for you if you are willing to accept it. And I think
A lot of people have the same challenge when it comes to what say this on stage. People say they like to get wild, but what is your challenge?
that's not my challenge. My challenge is this. I think we should have an annual blind mic family laugh-off where we each do 3 to 5 minutes of stand-up and record it because DJ Electra, myself, you, Krager's, Blind Mike, Carl, and a few other friends, we could make a great show out of it. What do you think, David Collins? And we could even do a roast of everyone who's there. So I could say, David Collins has poop that tastes like black licorice, which means it's an acquired taste. Hey, yo.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I almost want to say it's like, I've been going to an MMA gym for the last 5 weeks, and now we're talking about a boxing competition, but I've actually been training. So I wouldn't know. Maybe it's just a little, maybe I'd say,
No, David.
I might be at a
no.
little bit of a disadvantage, or a bit of an advantage, I should say. But I
David.
would be happy to participate.
David, I can tell you the people that get in your head really hard from boxing or football, their poop tastes weird. It tastes like brains. Like they're leaking out, so don't do that. Keep your
Well,
brains,
speaking
your sexy
hypothetically, of
brains.
course,
I
or
don't want you.
metaphorically, I should say.
You're too good to box. Don't do that.
And it might break your glasses too.
Fun fact. I know maybe we shouldn't get into this. I'm not sure what's the statute of limitations on a fight club, but many, many years ago, I did start a fight club, and that was a fun
Oh.
handful of weeks. We went to a park. We went to a property.
Were
we
you a
went to
teacher
different
of
property.
children?
It's a
Because
long
then
story,
that's
of course.
dangerous. Was your
Anyway,
fight club full of children? Who was your fight club full of?
No, I would say I think I was the youngest at the time. It was an interesting period of my life, I'd say.
Is that because they didn't have internet access where you lived?
No, it was not at all related to the internet access. I'd say that much, but
No,
you know.
you just saw the movie and you had. I did the same thing when the Lost Boys came out. I thought I was a vampire for 2 weeks.
Fascinating. Did you bite people? Did that
No.
lead to there must be a lot of consequences for pretending to be a bonfire.
No, but Brian Stafford and another kid thought I was a real vampire and they were going to take a blood oath for me. Funny thing is, later they were all arrested for, bad choices.
Yeah, I was
So,
just listening to an
I was-
interesting Jim Norton story that's very similar to this.
I don't think we need to promote that here.
Exactly, just the first couple of weeks there for that first episode, and then we're going to get more into themed, longer period of time episodes. Of course, just getting started.
Is there something about your clock that you're okay showing Blind Mike, but that you don't want to show me? What's going on with your clock?
I think we have the same angle here. I think it's your choice on the way that you're affecting the camera here.
Are you a flat earther thinking there's 13 hours in a day? That's not
I do
right,
get
is it?
frustrated by people's, pushback on flat Earth, but personally, I have no strong opinion.
The good thing about pushback on flat Earth is that it's flat, so you only fall down to the ground, not down the curve of the Earth.
Oh, it's nice they can get a good solid push.
Yes, and then it's flat. You don't tumble down to the China.
thought it was appropriate to kind of go day by day and introduce how we got started here and how those mics operate day by day. But in the future episodes, the format's going to be a little different. But this first episode is somewhat chronological, I'd say. Well, that was well said. I'm glad that I promoted it in that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone. Wednesday, the new episode of the, what is it, reality show?
Right, it's the first episode of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour reality show where
It's
I
amazing.
begin stand-up comedy from the ground up with the goal to, by the end of the year, be headlining at somewhere in the Midwest here.
That's amazing. And I actually have a clip here of you doing stand-up. Just a brief one. And it makes me laugh every time I watch it. So I had to put it in.
I thought we'd start the show today with a quick joke. You guys like jokes? I'm sure we're at a comedy venue. A lot of fans of comedy
Oh, of
here.
course, we did do a joke during the live
I had a
show.
LaCroix today.
It's because.
Oh, you should start it over. You can't pause during the middle of a joke. That's
Well,
insane.
don't talk. I thought you had something to add. Oh, God damn it, David Collins.
How can you imagine stopping a joke?
I stop him all the time. It's like my job. Where is it? TJ Electra, I lost it.
Oh.
Spoken a little bit before the show. We were doing a little riffing. And so I
Sure.
wanted to. We were doing some riffing
think-
this morning. That was nice.
Chester?
Yep.
TJ Electra,
Of
can you
David
find
Collins'
it for
30-minute
me?
half-hour reality
I can
show
try.
will be out this Wednesday.
Oh, here it is. It's
Introduce
just a
how we
minute
got
from here.
started here and how those mics operate day by day. But in the future episodes, the format's going to be a little different. But this first episode,
It's hard to press buttons when all you have is a little piece of toilet paper hanging off your head.
you could invest in a bidet and then you could spray the buttons.
I have a bidet. David Collins?
It's somewhat
Okay.
chronological, I'd say.
I thought we'd start the show today with a quick
And again, this
joke.
is only 2 weeks in.
You guys
We've
like jokes? I'm
progressed
sure we're at a
so
comedy
much.
venue. A lot of fans of comedy here. I had a LaCroix today. Boy, what a treat those are, huh? A little strong for me. I have to dilute mine. You know, my mom told me growing up if I have too many carbonated beverages, my bones weak. So I mix my LaCroix with milk. I call it a white Frenchman. Because it starts riots in my stomach. What a great way to start the show. We got a great show planned for you today. Before we...
And a joke is
love
always
it.
a great way to start the show.
Yeah.
So if you're watching on YouTube right now, at David Collins
I like to read obituaries at the beginning of our shows.
How
show
often have you done that?
is
Well, it's the plan. We haven't done it yet, but we're gonna just find
Might be
baby
a great
obituary.
format. Could
Yes,
I
we're
purchase
gonna
that
f-
off of you? We'll
Yes,
talk
we could-
after the show. I've purchased many concepts from other people.
Yes, and make sure they're young, so it's so tragic.
we
Oh.
can search to find our friend David Collins. And I was checking out the latest episode of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, and I heard a shout out of sorts to one of our friends that I wanted to address here. So we're gonna play a clip, David, and perhaps you can add some context to it.
No,
when we hear
no.
it.
I have a quick apology to make to everybody about our last episode.
What a great
Apparently,
plan.
we didn't get the best reviews. We had against Hackride Studios, the cast of Hackride Studios, and he's been accused of it being a bit of a sabotage. We're talking about maybe having Hackride
no.
back on the show to apologize and try to defend some of those criticisms there. So let me know at dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com if we should have Hackride back on the show.
Now, have you gotten much response from that? Do people want Hackride back?
You know, you'd be surprised. The comment section is littered with people pro Hackride, but the emails are flooding with people saying, please do not have him back on the show.
Oh no, really?
Exactly. And you know, I don't want to be addressing any trolls out there, but it seemed like honest criticism. So we had to get it out of the way at the beginning of the show, make sure everybody knows I'm hearing you. Maybe we have him back on, or maybe we don't. I'd like to continue hearing you.
I did. I had to reach out to applaud your professionalism because I
He
could
did.
understand it seemed like a difficult one to navigate. And I heard you mention there that you think there may be sabotage. What is that about?
Well, it seemed intentional that he was trying to steer the show away from the planned segments of the show, of course.
Yeah.
Who done? I'm going to press B because that is very funny, and I'm sure Hackride will enjoy it. he has experienced what David Collins is talking about.
And you don't go.
I
for
know
that
he
kind of stuff.
sabotage is a hard word. I understand, but Right. he's yet
I
to
understand
kind of that. Speak on this. To be honest,
Yeah. So you're going to address this with him tonight. I understand. Is that right? On Gearbox.
And
oh,
here
I
we
guess that
are.
would naturally make sense. I didn't even think that would come up.
Oh, you didn't think that we gotta talk about it, David
Well, no,
Collins.
of course, especially not with you, Jan, or that Santa. Both of those two guests were welcome guests on the show and didn't have any. In fact, DJ Electra Fry, we received many emails that complimented the Fry's addition to the show, but
Oh,
many
that's
people were
good.
distracted by Hackride's contribution.
Yeah, I can understand that, and that wasn't the point. That wasn't the reason behind it. The reason behind the zaniness and the craziness was more. We were trying to make you break.
Ah, shut the fuck up. Why are you explaining it to this retard? What? Hold on. Mr. David
Voice
Lecter
changer,
needs-
voice changer.
Cheers,
God damn, I
Hackride.
told you to tell me. Hold on. It should be on. I don't know. why it's
KC?
not on. Hold on.
Now the demon is summoned. Sometimes I speak with Casey's voice because it sounds gay and it makes you more comfortable to hear what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. How dare you, David Collins?
Well, do you have an opinion on your, I would say, appearance?
We get no numbers. No one watches us. So I have to make it interesting. Would you rather just me sit there and get the numbers that we deserve?
Well, I would say that, you would just...
Why are you turn your camera off, Fry Lady?
Okay.
David Collins. I love your show. I love your work. I would never sabotage you.
And I thought it was a fine episode.
Sabotage.
In fact, that if you recall, at the beginning of that episode, a Brian called me. And now a Brian called me just last week, and he said, I was listening to this most recent episode, Chris, which since then, of course, besides Brian, I've received many compliments on, but Brian said, this Chris guy, he said something about stabbing his cousin with an ice pick. That's crazy. I much preferred that funny demon.
Yes.
He was telling me this over the phone, of course, that Brian.
Well,
You did receive some compliments, of course, and I could understand, but there was I had to respond to the email, so it was nothing. And you understand. I think you understand when you bring so many audio segments to a pre-prepared show, then you are adding time, and it was no piece, but based on the emails, I guess that was kind of the compliment there. You're
David.
making distracting faces. I'm not sure. Did I answer your question?
You did, but I don't think you understand because you're from the Midwest. You eat corn and fuck relatives that you don't know how the internets work. Have you heard of a thing called trolls? When they find out that I'm doing something, 1,300 of them will email you and say he's terrible. And you're like, yeah, he's terrible. Oh, David, I cannot wait till you get your trolls. Get your first trolls.
And I would even
I can't wait to see how you deal with
I
it,
would even
David.
say comedians that are fans of the show that I've now been seeing more face to face so much more often while going to these comedy venues, were even saying, hey, watch out for that Hackride.
They did not say that.
And
You are
they these are people that are much more in the industry.
You are
Of course,
lying,
I've been
David
terrestrial,
Collins.
This national is a much different area. And I almost thought earlier, I said, wow, imagine we have broken completely free from those terrestrial chains, but now we're navigating this whole new national ocean of viewers. So there is a tough decision to know which are the trolls and which are not. But I think so far we've only garnered mostly honest viewers.
Yes, so I could make the same argument that you're making, that you are currently sabotaging the show. See, that's how it works. If you have 10 boring seconds on air, you're a saboteur. But I don't think you're a saboteur. I think you're just you.
Well, I would insist that nobody has called you boring.
Yes, I don't think you're boring either. But I am not a saboteur. No. we do have a fun thing around here where we try
Unless
to make
you're
you.
boring something through somebody's eardrums. I've heard that.
Do you want to know the real answer, David? Would you like to know the real answer? Would you like to actually gain the knowledge tonight that makes you?
I think my viewers would like the real answer. To be completely fair with you, but I have no beef. Of course, I've only insisted that you're a great performer and somebody that I interact with on an informal basis. So I'm always happy to have you on the show. So there's certainly no beef there, but we did have to explain that to our audience who had an opinion. But if you'd like to explain that to our audience who had an opinion, please be free.
You know I don't pay you by the hour or minute to talk, right? You can make it brief.
I've only insisted that we moved on with the show.
No. What I'm saying here is this,
You have
David.
complimented me for my brevity before, though, and I appreciate that. Go on.
Yeah. What happened? No, what I'm saying is this, David. You are a very sexy twink. But other than that, I don't want to sabotage you. No, I was, when Blind Mike found you, I was like, a much cheaper and whiter version of David Lieber.
Blind Mike, but I understand what you're saying.
You stepped on my great joke. I said it was a much whiter and cheaper version of David Lieberhard. Thank you. It was a good joke, and you stepped on it, so whatever. So much whiter, so much cheaper.
Do it over again. I apologize.
No. That's not what we do here. No, all right. Well, hey. He's so much whiter and so much cheaper than David Lieberhard. Hey, look at that. That's funny. All right. Anyway, I just want to say, I don't sabotage. I have pushed you more than a bitch has pushed out a kid. Which means I engage my ass muscles when I think of you. You understand?
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, when I say you understand, and I look at you like this, that means I need an answer. If I say, you understand, cut face, that's rhetorical. You understand the difference?
Right.
Yeah, you answered. You evolving. Congratulations. All right. Well, I have taken up enough time. I think beef. Have we squashed the beef? It's squashed.
I would like to translate. We want to try to make David Collins break. We want to make him laugh and smile.
Thank you. Yes.
I laugh all the time on the show. It's a
No, you don't. You lie.
comedy show.
You always are in character. You are so professional and so good at what you do. And we just wanted to make you laugh.
We have a contest with Blind Mike. Who can make you break? No, you don't think we're behind the scenes like we both have you on the same day? Who can make you break? And so I put you on with a toilet, and you still broke when you looked at Craig's arms because, oh my God, they're weird.
But that's
the vape of the day. Jan's already telling me we had a vape of the day. All right, so
back and forth. I'm giggling the entire show, I think.
I would just love to see you do like a full-on belly laugh at some point, sometime, someday.
Oh, you should hear me during a B-dude call in. That guy gets me to crack up.
It's not possible. This is autistic weirdo.
You know
cannot
we have
laugh.
a Jamaican correspondent on the show.
Yeah.
Jamaican me crazy, David Collins.
Well, that's a great joke. You're on fire tonight.
I'm on fire all the time. I'm a demon. I live in flames. Do you understand? That was not rhetorical. See how I had my head tilted? God, he's still learning.
I see. Well, my instinct is that these are so good that you're sending us to break or something like that.
No, I don't do break, but I do need to bring. I need to bring the toilet back because I didn't even plan to come up here and talk to you. But
well, I miss you, Hackride. You're the one I prefer any day. I apologize for my audience, but of course, it is a great audience, and I can't apologize for them every day.
No, same thing. My people are Hackriders, ride hard, but usually they have better shows to watch, so they don't bug people. The thing about your people is they haven't discovered the outside
I'll tell
world
you, I
yet.
watched a great documentary the other day, but you have so many things that you need to get into on your show here. Why don't we move on with the show? I can tell you all about this documentary, though.
So,
Arcade
beef squash.
Gamer,
No, shut up.
true-
Beef squash, right? Beef is squashed between us, yes?
There is no beef.
No beef.
Oh, Okay.
Now, if we needed a good podcast war behind the scenes, we could work something out and maybe do some sort of prank. April Fool's is coming up, so we could
Ooh.
do a big April Fool's prank together. We might think of something like that, but
All right,
certainly,
I thought of
unless-
something. Chat, look at this skinny man from the Midwest on your TV. Is his Johnson longer than 8 inches? Press 1 if you think so. 2 if you think it's shorter. And then you will give us, that is, Andrea, put that in the chat. David Colin Schlong. 8 inches or shorter, or 8 inches or longer. And I'm going longer. I'm going to go longer. You're a long man. I've seen the bulge.
What about, do we get to vote on Hackride's Johnson too?
No! No, we are about S penis, not the host penis. That's weird. That's weird. Don't be a weirdo.
Well, that's weird.
No, we have guests on, and then we have a vote on their penis, not the host.
I thought the
Ugh.
show was called GEARBOX.
Oh, we've already measured all the boxes, but tonight you are our guest, and we will measure your ween. I say larger than 8 inches, and what do you say, DJ Electra?
I say over 6 is just unnecessary, so I'm saying
This is a woman that has only dated white men.
you wish you knew. Anyways, moving on.
I'm out of here. DJ Electra, would you talk to him for a second?
Well, that's great. I think something was wrong with his eye anyway, so that's good.
Yeah,
that-
he was very twitchy.
Hello, audience. I was alone by myself for a moment here.
Well,
I don't have much we could talk about. We could talk about the Oscars, I suppose.
We could, or we could.
Did you
talk
watch
with
the
Dad.
Oscars at all?
No, I was working.
Now, the
I was
holdovers, the winner for the
working.
supporting actress, the winner for Best Supporting Actress this year was Divine Joy Randolph of the Holdovers. She was an actress for that. She was a large black woman, but it was very
Oh.
inspiring. She gave a speech, and she described how she wanted to be a singer, but her mother told her, "You need to go across the street. I see something great for you at that acting studio," and she gave it a shot. And now she's winning an Oscar, and she said, "I pray to God that I'll be back here someday again soon." And she left the stage, but it was a great speech by somebody that was unknown and happened to win. So it was and there were a lot of moments like that so far. About halfway through, of course, I was watching it on pre-record, so it was a little behind when we started the show. So maybe I'll finish it later.
That's
I love
amazing,
that.
David Collins. Let's continue watching. Thank you for talking to Hackride. He kind of bust his way on here. I didn't really want to see him, but thank you for doing that. Now let's continue watching our thing. Where'd everyone go?
How would it not?
You met Hackride
Yeah, we
before?
Busy.
Yes, now we're going to talk about Opie. And he's literally the worst broadcaster that's ever lived.
And I wish that Joe Rogan would respond to this
Like,
too. I'd love to see these two titans going at it.
Joe Rogan is too busy filling his fanny pack and counting his $1 billion.
I don't
I've
even know if
often
he has
wondered, 'cause
time
Carl-
to count anymore. He's so busy. He's managing a club. He looks tired on all these podcasts. That Dan Soder show was a great relief to watch. I guess we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. Excuse me. Opie, everybody.
That's what happens when you have a bigger than 8-inch peen. You get ahead of things.
People will sometimes say, like, I'm sick of talking about Stuttering John. I often wonder if we play more Opie stuff. And I realize, like, it's hard. It's difficult.
DJ Electra Fry, this is amazing. If you hover over the eyeball in StreamYard, it tells you how many people are watching on each platform. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh,
Did
I'm
you
gonna
see
try
that?
that.
Yeah, take it
Oh
out.
wow, look at
Because
that.
It's so boring that it's hard to even
Cool.
make fun of. Like, some of it is just white noise, essentially.
It's also so sad seeing someone with so much talent and such a legacy just wasting away.
That's right. He's often told us how talented he is. I mean,
Right.
I do always defend Opie and say, like, he definitely added something to that show. It's just a skill
He
that's
was the
impossible to
captain.
translate alone.
So even every time
Right.
we go and do like a bonus Why You Laughing or something on Opie and Anthony, like even Bobo's stand up, you can hear his value in every single time we do it.
Sure. I always make sure to point that out. The problem is Opie's a good puppet master. But if you
Correct.
take the puppets away, it's just a creep talking to his hand.
It's very
Correct.
Like
profound.
he has nothing to do now. There are no puppets left. You can't say, hey, comedic geniuses make fun of E-Rock for being fat.
Yes, and he would keep trying to replace them with all the Dabbleverse people. I saw Corndiff, I saw Cardiff, I saw Jake Hudson, and he just couldn't find the right recipe for him.
I think that was a perfectly, but I don't mind him by himself. I'm always a great fan. In fact, this whole blind Mike, I'm not sure if you noticed too, a big theme of impressionists throughout this episode, and Opie is not he's a common impressionist, I would say. What am I trying to say? I'm not sure. I can't get the words out, but he is an impressionist by trade, I would say, especially in his current iteration of his show.
Yes, you've been broadcasting all day, and we did take that into consideration when we decided to play all this and hope we broke you.
Bobo for being retarded.
Right.
You can't do that if you don't have the pieces.
No stranger to impressionists.
And
That was
can't really
the
do that
word.
anymore anyway.
Well, I mean, that's true too. Yeah, like Opie was a shock jock through and through, whereas Anthony was genuinely funny. Like, of course, Anthony was also part of some shock jock stuff, but like Anthony and Jim Norton were genuinely funny, where Opie's skill kind of died. He's a guy that was given horse and buggy rides, and the automobile was invented. So God bless the Opester. I hope he's doing okay. But
I have some great ideas. If he happens to see this clip, reach out to me, Opie. I have some great ideas for projects that you could get put on. I would love to get him attached with. Does New York City have the same issue that Chicago has, where there are young teenagers causing chaos around the city? I think if Opie hired a group of those and implemented those in some of his on the street, it might be a good way to maybe get some views, get some action. I have no doubt in my mind that behind the scenes I could revitalize Opie's career. On the streets, but with a gang.
Yes,
there may be no bigger fan of Greg Opie Hughes that lives today than me, and I'm sure that I could bring him back into a positive light in the world.
You are number 2 Opie fan. Number 1 Opie fan is Opie.
I don't even think that's true.
I've tried reaching out many times.
As the number 1 Opie fan, I don't think that's true.
Well, I think your ideas are good. I think that he should listen. I'm gonna can I tag him and send him this clip?
100% do that and tell him. I would, given a certain opportunity, I would be there tomorrow.
That might be the winning combination. You and Opie.
Are you willing to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning? Did he get up so early?
For Greg Opie Hughes, I would stay up for hours, for days.
Wow.
That's how I feel about David Collins.
Now, this is a guy that recognized talent when he saw it. So maybe we could really get on board here.
This is how I feel about David Collins.
He's an elusive guy.
No, look, this is DJ Electra's hat. That's her face is under there and her boobs are below that, but that's a hat.
He's an elusive guy is a very ominous way to end that clip.
It was, huh? I don't think I really thought that one through. Sorry.
The ghost, Opie Hughes.
She was wearing her dumb makeup.
Probably.
Did you
I
know
mean, even if I was
smart?
writing a screenplay, I would write something very similar to The Beekeeper, but it would be Opie Hughes as the main action hero. He could have done so many things with his career, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
In your movie, do you make a scene where women recognize that sometimes they wear dumb makeup?
He might not know that one.
Makeup can do a wonderful job if it is used intelligently.
Yes, it can't be dumb makeup.
It's an odd announcer choice, I'd say that much.
It's from the 50s.
Real quick, on Twitter, shout out DJ Electra. She also owns the hat, and it looks great. BlindMike.net. Buy the merch.
Oh, thank you.
Look at it. That's the same clap that you were doing on the show.
And
oh my
all
god.
you creepy weirdos,
Deja vu.
just see the hat. So don't worry about it.
This was the joke of the day, I think.
057 in the chat says Bobby Lee is insufferable. I actually think he's excellent on podcasts.
Oh, Bobby Lee is a very sweet man.
Oh,
take that.
No, the first time it got me, I thought you were talking because you opened your mouth and the other gay David talked.
Back, chatter. Now there's Andrew
You should have high-fived this David.
Take it back.
Santino, I think, is very mean.
Oh, you think so?
I do. I think they should change this name of the show to Flag Football since it's red versus yellow.
That was good. It was just right there. It was good.
That was a fine
Red
joke.
versus yellow. I'm thinking about it. Oh, it's because
Yawn.
he's a ginger and because he's Asian.
Oh,
Right.
That's very funny, David Collins. You
Well, it's-
identified how they were different as
It's right in
individuals
front
and
of everybody.
Yes. And then
I think
you
that's what
found
makes a
something-
good joke. Everybody looks at it and they say, "Why didn't I think of that?" And I think many people did, and they, maybe just didn't put it together. The flag football reference, maybe something about that, but it was a fine joke.
It was great.
Yes,
And I
and-
think Bobby Lee also, I think he's good on podcasts. I've never seen him stand up, but I really do think that he's,
I think he's very sweet. I loved him on Mad
Yeah.
TV. I'm a big fan of him. It's too bad that he doesn't put out any stand-up comedy, but maybe after this most recent Joe Rogan, he's going to be putting out a special this year. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe it'll be after all this drama that we're covering. It will wait until maybe he's too distracted by all this drama, and that's why he's not putting out a special right now.
possibly. He also made a short movie where he was
No
a
pun
single
intended, I'm
guy-
sure.
Or no, he was a guy. He had a girlfriend. He hired a hooker because she stormed out of the hotel room on Valentine's Day, and then he got robbed by the hooker. I don't remember the name of it, but it was a good movie.
That wasn't a love
Watch
versus
it.
robot
Is-
scene?
Something.
David
Something like
Collins,
that.
have you ever been robbed by a Midwest hooker, a lady of the night?
To avoid getting too, anywhere near the line there, I'd just like to decline to answer that question.
That's a yes.
No, that's not a yes. That's a decline to answer the question.
No, you have to pay your hookers, David Collins. You can't leave them dead in a cornfield.
I mean, do I say decline to answer the question, or do I say no but? We have to move on somehow. I hate to get into the details. I have been taken advantage of. I'll say that much. But I was a younger David Collins, of course. You learn, you live, and you learn. I think people have said that before.
So how does that make you feel about Craigers, who also took advantage of young David Collins?
I'm a big fan of the justice system. I understand maybe we've understood, maybe we're batting around a proclivity, but we're not batting around charges. That's my current understanding, and that's how I live and still interact with the show.
Yes, and if you can see, Craig is pretty happy there with his life and how it's turned out and his proclivities. So it
Well,
doesn't
he's
seem to be
laughing
affecting him much.
he's laughing at a joke that's disconnecting it from the current horrors of his life.
That might be true too.
I like that one a lot.
That's an interesting idea, David.
Also, flag football is not a bad name for a podcast. In all seriousness.
I've heard there's a few of them in football now. What did you say?
Kelsey's have a podcast.
Oh, you said flag football. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's something for them to consider.
That one won the chat over.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I like Bobby Lee on podcasts. For whatever reason, and I think a lot of people that watch this show now will definitely disagree with me because I've heard their thoughts. Bert Kreischer and Bobby Lee are the two people I disagree with the hate on them. Like, I can understand it. I can see like the laugh maybe getting annoying or whatever, but like I think they're entertaining.
Bert
on
Kreischer is a
particularly
victim.
Bobby.
I think I say this already. I've made this point already. Of course, I'm almost speaking to the TV right now. It's very unnecessary. Go on. I apologize.
Well, how is Bert Kreischer a victim?
Bert Kreischer he's been set up by his friends all around him. He has no autonomy, and he has built no autonomy. His autonomy led him to Travel Channel, and since then he's only taken advice, and things have gone well for him. But the public perception, he has no personal control over his public perception, and so many of his actions are affected by his friends. I think that any hate that he gets online is often uncalled for.
David Collins, would you let people have whatever public perception they could if you had $32 million in the bank?
And I would hope that I would at least be able to produce something that people would remember other than me taking my shirt off.
But you have something that will people remember. It's the bank. They'll remember all your money that's in there.
Well, I don't have too much sympathy for him, but I do feel that in a lot of these stories, he is the victim.
Yes, I would take that life and that money.
And the more I hear, I follow many comedians all around this great country of ours, and even smaller comedians, and you hear stories of Bert Kreischer showing up at some of these clubs, maybe in Texas or maybe in LA, and he might open a show, and because he's just there, because he's in town, and many people in the audience are not that enthused. If they're not coming there for a Bert show, they're not too enthused. So when people talk about him maybe being overrated, I think that's something being pushed on them, and they're having a negative view of poor Bert for no good reason. And that's basically the front of my point.
No, I like the front of your point, but the back is sexier.
And when that movie came out, I only felt bad. Anyway.
No, just to see more Bobby Lee.
Anyway, I think I make this point much clearer
Yeah,
with less words.
like people are talking about
later in
them
the
not
show.
being funny and stuff like that. I'm not even talking about that, but they'll talk about anything.
They'll gossip.
Yes,
which I like. Yeah,
which is interesting.
Spreading the
Nick
tea.
West, $2. Just he gave us $2 just for the red versus yellow bit.
Oh, good. Thank you, Nick.
Yes, I hope Blind Mike gives you 35 cents of that.
That's very funny. This next one though is Bobby Lee talking about his boundaries, which you can tell by watching him talk here and setting boundaries. He doesn't want to say this, but he knows he has to. And
yeah, this is where he got very annoyed, and he was like, "Enough with the Kalila shit," which I can empathize with Bobby, where it's like, listen, I know what your thoughts are on this, but I'm not changing, so I want you to stop embarrassing me on a major podcast.
I thought I'd cut this here, but apparently it's still going. So should I fast forward a little bit?
No, I'm not sure what you're going to. This gives me an idea, though. While we're going through this, I had an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll announce this. Maybe this summer, if I could figure this out. If we could figure this out, we're doing stand-up comedy. I've been getting booked on these shows this summer. Some people have seen me. They say, we're going to get, can you do 10 to 15 minutes? I say, yeah, we'll have 10 to 15 minutes by that period of time. No problem. And very much things are moving. We're getting booked on these shows. Maybe this summer, I could try to navigate a show. Where is that? Boston? Is that where the blind Mike lives?
Yeah.
What if I did a stand-up comedy show
Boston,
somewhere in
Connecticut.
Boston? What if we worked that out? What if I was able to get booked on one of these showcases that somebody's booking out there on some bar show in Boston? Wouldn't that be something?
That would be amazing.
Hey, what David Collins?
Maybe we could
David
think
Collins,
about that.
can
I
you
am
get-
working these ideas out live on air here. This is the creative process. I just thought I'd say that out loud there, but maybe we'll think about that. That would be an easy trip.
David Collins, I know your skin is so fair, but could you make it down to Florida? Can your skin handle Florida?
You're talking many hours of travel at that point. Boston, what a reachable area. But anyway, let's move on with the clip. I forgot what even got me thinking of these ideas here.
I would come and see you wherever you poop, David Collins.
That would be something. There's people in Omaha that
Please, for the
emailed me
love
that
of
would that want me to come out to Omaha. So maybe we'll do that.
Awesome.
Could you come out to Los Angeles?
Again, this distance. I will be in Colorado in October. More to talk about that in the future.
But see, that's very high. You're higher up than you normally
Is that?
would be.
Are you going to be doing a show in Colorado?
More to talk about in the future.
Oh, good. Okay, I love secrets.
Did you meet a weird girl in Colorado that says, I'll meet you halfway? Just like DJ Electra and Plesiosaur?
Right, and we couldn't get it on the calendar until October. I said, I'll take you out to, Red Lobster.
In October.
Oh, she's pregnant and she's going to have her baby in September. So by October, she'll be nice and tight.
Do you think, maybe I'll think about that. That might be a concern.
Bless you,
I eat so many babies.
David.
It's very dark.
Let's see. I was supposed to clip this way back with there. Oh my goodness. I'm not good at this scrubbing thing.
Yes, ditto. Well, that's not what
The
I'm
tiger belly stuff is a crux of it, big time.
It's not even that. You do it as a joke, but it's like sometimes I just feel like that's fine. I don't want to. And you haven't.
I was supposed to clip this part too.
May I ask too, as
apologize.
somebody who
It is
doesn't watch
strange-
this Bad Friend show, who watches this Bad Friend show? What audience is this catering to?
I think it's family members of Bobby Lee primarily, but there's a lot of them. So it's, 10,000 Lees.
But I actually had it come up on my algorithm once, and I tried to watch it, and it was okay. I like him as guests on podcasts better. But
I see.
I'm gonna fast forward here a little.
That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, please do.
I've remained friendly to a point with exes before. I could not imagine sitting across from them and talking to them for 3 hours.
Running a business with them.
Yeah, on a podcast every week. Just couldn't do it.
Now, I do think part of it is, from what Bobby said, is that Kalila was just more
This was supposed to be
responsible
cut
than him.
out too. I'm so sorry.
Refresher
Okay.
course.
You can
New
tell
topic.
he really means it, and it actually happened.
You had a
And one of them is that John had an
story.
opportunity,
Here we go.
a career opportunity, that he's never mentioned, which seems rare for him.
Now you can tell he really means it, and it actually happened. By the way, he looks at this.
Let me ask you, David Collins, have you been watching more Stuttering John now that you've been introduced to him?
Certainly not. No, he's not a very interesting character to me, to be completely honest. And everybody describes him as things that I don't see.
No, okay.
Like up
Now
to the
this Andrew
sky, it goes,
Santino guy, I could say more things about. I think he's a mean guy.
I think he's mean, but he's also funny.
And I wonder, I hate to bring this back up. I know we've moved on from the segment, but did they even work on a show together? How did that connection even come? This show, I understand, but it seems to have a tenure that I had no idea about, and it just appeared and is this old popular show. And I've even heard it mentioned. I want to work and I want to produce a show for this local comedian who is not actually a very active comedian, but he's started many fires at clubs, and I think he'd be the interesting person to host a show. And I've talked to him and I said, what kind of shows do you listen to? And he mentioned Bad Friends. And I thought, that's not even a show that comes to mind when I think of shows. But anyway, I guess I've kind of made my point there. I am curious, when did they meet? Was that recent? Is that through comedy, I suppose?
No, there's videos of them like 10, 15 years ago doing podcasts. But I think it's amazing, David Collins, that you support Pyromaniacs to open for you.
He's an interesting character, I'll tell you. I can't wait to introduce him to the world.
Yes, and I would like to introduce you to the band Great White. Please Google that.
That's a great, it's a great reference. I love those
Say
jokes. You don't
next.
hear them too often anymore.
It's because everyone that heard those jokes was burned in a fire, David Collins.
It feels very genuine.
Not
David,
most
you're
of the
good at
band.
reading people. I want you to tell us how genuine you think this offer was when he tells us what his a career opportunity that evidently he turned down was.
Okay.
No.
He's the best belly laugh of the day, David Collins!
No, that's awesome.
Oh shit. He is your friend. It benefits him.
Yes.
Oh, it's a retarded gentleman, Richard.
It's so unbelievable.
It's
Not often you get to see him laugh like that.
No, he laughed very, very hard. And also, David Collins, you made today's possible clip of the day with your...
Mike Buschetti.
It's amazing!
Mike Buschetti. Mike Buschetti.
You said Mike Buschetti.
Mike Buschetti.
Yes, it might be. I'm not saying it is the clip of the day. I'm just saying you're in the running, David Collins.
Is that not how it's pronounced?
It is, but you say it like a guy that eats a lot of corn.
Mike Buschetti.
Oh, we got another one. Press B, DJ Electra.
Got it.
It's like Baba Booey. The way you say it is amazing.
Yeah, so we haven't checked in on the Army Major in a while, and I will say it's sad in the sense he's not going to battle with the chat as much. That does bum me out. So there's not as much to pull from, unfortunately, but there are glimpses of the Richard that we know and love. So hopefully I found a couple. I just wanted to give you guys a refresher course in what's going on with the Army Major, because it's a big year for him. It's an election year, and it was a big week. Super Tuesday was this week. We had the State of the Union, you know? So it's a big time for Richard. So let's check in and see what he's talking about.
If you think that abortion is the only thing that they're trying to take away from you women, you need to wake your asses up. They're just seeing how much they can take before you start raising up. And they're going to take until you do. So you better wake up. You better smarten up. You better stop voting Republican. All you friggin' blonde-headed, blue-eyed Karens,
Oh.
the friggin' Make America Great Again hat, you
Oh.
stupid women are absolutely destroying our country because you're not smart enough to see, because you're too friggin' racist to
Wow.
see that the person that you are supporting is nothing more than a racist.
I feel attacked by a friend right now.
Now, David, are you familiar with the term mansplaining?
I'm a. You know what
aware of
strikes
the
me in
term.
hindsight is Craig's resistance to this at the same level as his resistance to comments about his accusations.
Yes, yes. He's
Seems to feel
political.
the same emotional backlash. I wouldn't expect them to be level. I guess is my point.
Yes, but one is work and one is fun. So the political talk is work for him. He works on a political show, and then the abduction.
does
and
he?
Yes, and the abduction and violation of children is just fun. So it's two different things.
I had no idea about his political alignment.
He produces the Jerry Callahan Show, which is about as right-leaning as Rush Limbaugh.
Interesting.
Yes, he looked like he ate a lot of corn.
Misogyny, I know that much.
You think it might fit to be like, you dumb bitches?
Saying, what have you done?
Don't you ladies know what's good for you?
Dude,
I
it'd
love
be-
Richard.
It'd be so funny because, like, if he was in Trump's cabinet, he'd be like the Secretary of Defense. He'd just start bombing like right-wing cities.
Is he running for anything, or is he just speaking his
Oh!
mind?
I'm glad you asked, David. I don't have the clip, but he did say he will be running for office again. Not this election,
Nice.
but at some point he's going to get back in the game. He said that.
Did he say the location, or is he still picking that
Got
up?
my vote.
He moved to North Carolina, so I would guess there, but I'm not sure.
Yes, and that is the mini the show today that happened. David Collins, you were there. What grade do you give yourself? You gave yourself an 8. Do you still give yourself an 8?
Well, I've been very busy today, but of course I've had a bit of an internal conflict. But based on some of the compliments that I've received, I think we're going to stick with an 8. But remember, this is all based on Blind Mike is a 10, and that is the curve of the show.
Yes.
So you have to only grade based on that curve.
Yes, I think you're right. And what was Craig? What did Craig get in your post show review now that you have been off the show for so long?
Oh, it's always nice hanging out with Craig. It's a real pleasure. I have his phone number. In fact, I almost texted him yesterday. I had a draft text it up. I thought, and then I said, no, I will not send it. And I continued my drive. I was on a nice drive. I thought I might reach out to Craig and say hello. But anyway, I just continued on with my drive.
You should send that number to the FBI. I'm sure they would like to see it.
I will, a little inside baseball here. I don't want to. I would hate for anybody to see that we have text messages back and forth and me not to have some sort of defense. It is fair to say that he is in my phone as, before I show this, if I'm going to show this, I guess, that I just want to review the text message quickly here. Oh, okay, that should be okay. This is this show.
This is it's so bright.
It's coming in.
Maybe hold your hand behind it. Oh, Craig, child
threat. Yes, this is it. He is a child threat.
Just to avoid any possible issues in the future, we did put it
dear.
in that way. But besides that, he's a great. I would almost consider him also a friend of mine, and I've only wished him well.
Yes, we wish him well, and we'll visit him like once a year when he's in the facilities.
And if that is something that he has an issue with, hopefully he'll be able to battle that and move on well. But it's only interesting, and it should make us feel better as Americans that it's not a political issue there. Obviously, you're able to feel politically either way and still have that issue. that you have to deal with in some way. And we have to, as Americans, figure out a way to deal with that population.
You can't control who you love. Craig is one who can't control that he loves people that are inappropriate to love. But let me ask you, David Collins, do you like trivia?
I am a big fan of trivia. I'm a big fan of games in general, and trivia is a category of games.
Yes,
I have a much difficult Trivial Pursuit there in iShot, actually. It was interesting. I pointed that out. I said, Jerry, what's with this Trivial Pursuit? It's very difficult. Anyway.
The trivia on your show was very difficult.
Which one? That Wizards trivia, I'll tell you. But we had a wizard
All
on
of
the
them.
show. So that helped a lot.
Did he win?
He did well.
Oh, okay.
Did not know. He was not familiar with Wizards of Waverly Place, which I think is a fair. He's an older man.
Oh.
All right, let's play some trivia, David. I guess you're not gonna win either. I'm gonna
Is it
put
blind
money.
Mike trivia?
It's always blind Mike trivia.
Well, if it's Kirk Minahan related, I'll tell you, I know nothing about that. But when it comes to blind Mike, I know a few things.
I don't know the name you mentioned.
Oh, well, that's good. I asked one question on the show today, and I appreciate them answering. But I feel very silly for not knowing this apparently very popular gentleman.
No, we don't. David, let me give you a piece of advice. We don't talk about that show here. We don't cross streams. That's Blind Mike's special place. We don't talk about it here.
Okay.
But DJ Electra is not under the same rules as me.
Right.
So, yes.
I was
So
in
let's
chat. I didn't know him either, honestly. David Collins, I didn't. But I did go to his chat last week, and it was a great time.
Yes, he has a very funny hairline. But that's all I can say. Let's watch some trivia.
This is Jerry Seinfeld. You may know me from the billions of dollars or the insane amount of whores and Porsches I own. Anyway, I slum it sometimes, and that is what brought Blind Mike to my attention all those years ago. And now I do a little trivia game.
My mother
involving
just
Mike.
called me about Jerry Seinfeld today. She said, what do you have to do to get in contact with this Jerry Seinfeld? I said, what is that even going to do? I don't know. I could talk to Jerry Seinfeld. It means nothing for my career.
It could.
Go. And now
That's
I
her
do a
plan.
little trivia game involving Mike. And you know what? It is time to play. Okay, folks, we have a great one for you tonight, but I must warn you, it is also quite disturbing. I would ask that the children be taken out of the room, please. Okay? And thank you. All right, there we go. So tonight's trivia has to do with Blind Mike Geary being one of the best friends on the planet. No matter what you are going through or who you are, if you are one of Blind Mike's guys, he's got your back. Well, unfortunately, there is a type that is attracted to this open-ended, non-judgmental friendship. That's right, we will call them Kriggers. Men who don't understand boundaries, men who harm the innocent in terrible, terrible ways. Well, somehow our boy Blind Mike Geary tends to find these depraved men and befriend them. So tonight your question is, excluding Kriggers, what accused or convicted child toucher did Blind Mike Geary hang out with and where?
Hey-o! I hope you're ready, David Collins.
Number 1. Blind Mike went to a Patriot Eagles game with alleged problematic Kriggers, EDP. Number 2. Blind Mike.
Do you know who the EDP is?
I don't believe that Blind Mike would go to a baseball game.
But the Eagles aren't based. Oh, never mind. Well,
Mike once met and took a photo with Jared Fogle from Subway at a Boston area Subway grand opening. And finally, our question in today's game is what accused or convicted child toucher did Blind Mike Geary hang out with and where? Number 3. Blind Mike once bought accused Canadian abuser Jay Station a beer at a local college bar near Cambridge. Okay, folks, this is a hard one. Stop it, Krieger. No, for real. We know Blind Mike may have a type. Which of the 3 future prison pin cushions is the correct Blind Mike story? We will start with the weirdo from the corn, fucking Malachi over here. And then, as always, the Fry lady, who is 1 for 3. All right, folks, let's lock them in.
all right, here we go. All right, David Collins, you're first. Who do you think Blind Mike's Other than Krieger's, who is Blind Mike's problematic friend? Is it EDP?
I would put a sizable portion of my pot into option number 3, bought J Station a beer at a college bar.
All right, are we going to lock you in?
Please do.
All right, here we're going to lock him in with a splat. He's locked in with a splat. Now,
As long as I get to sign a prenup.
That was also number 3 was also my intuition, so I'm going with number 3.
Can I lock you in?
Yes, please.
There, I'm going to lock you in. Dude, you're both locked into number 3 J Station, who's a real big weirdo. Let's see what the right answer is.
Okay, AR locked. And the answer to what accused or convicted child toucher did Blind Mike Geary hang out with, and where is? Number 1.
What?
Yes, Blind Mike and the Philadelphia Freaky DP once went to a football game together. I am assuming this is before
In the same car?
the troubles. Anyway, Kriegers, you are in great company, and Blind Mike, you are
Well, I
an
suppose
amazing
that makes
friend.
sense. EDP might also
Every
need a handicap van.
Yes, because he gets closer to the front so he can run away from the police.
Man who
Well, he's not
can't
much of a
control
runner,
their
I'd say that much.
He's a skipper. Oh, he's a roller.
urges, needs a buddy like you. Someone who can't see how weird these freaks are. Keep trucking Mike. Okay, folks, we will see you next week with some more Blind Mike trivia.
Wasn't that fun? Didn't you learn something about Blind Mike this week? Did it?
Is that
Krieger said
true?
It is 100%
To what
true.
extent were they together? Were they just in
They
the
went
same...
to a football game. They probably shared a popcorn.
I'm a little skeptical, but that's interesting.
I wouldn't make it
If I
something
was
like
Blind
that.
Mike, I'd bring that up all the time.
I would not make something like that up, David Collins.
We have inside sources.
We have inside sources, David
Oh,
Collins.
I was hoping that you'd have a clip of him talking about this.
I don't have clips of him talking this, but I think what we showed is pretty profound.
Certainly.
David Collins, do you need to pee or poop by any chance? Are you needing to excavate your bowels?
Or it's been 90 minutes, and you said you thought it was going to be 90 minutes. So if you do need to go, please feel free. We understand.
Well, I'm here. We're enjoying the show. What's
He's staying, DJ Electra. That's what we're doing.
Awesome.
He's staying. Yes. But I do need to pee and do some things for just the 2 minutes. And DJ Electra created a great song about pooping, and I talked in it. Would you like to hear it, David Collins?
Oh, no. You're going to play this?
No, she doesn't want us to play it. So that means we have to play it, David Collins. Oh, he doesn't. He's gone. All right. Well, we're going to play
He
it
doesn't
anyway.
want to hear it.
He doesn't want to hear the poop song. He might not be here when we get back, people, but here's the poop song.
I apologize to everybody in
DJ
chat for
Electra
this.
Fry, you should write a song about people feeding me their feces. That would be amazing. I know you have it in you, DJ Electra. Let me hear it. No, I like this. There's so much poo.
When nature calls, you can't deny. It's time to take a break. Oh, my.
It's gonna feed me.
Just grab your phone, head to the porcelain throne where you'll begin. Oh, 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 yeah.
No tampons.
Ooh, break. Ooh, break.
This is amazing, DJ Electra. Keep going.
It's time to unwind. Let all your troubles be left behind. Poo break, yeah. Poo break.
Every anus is like a snowflake to me.
Just let it all go in this moment. Just let it fly.
Yum, yum, yum,
Yeah.
yum, 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 yum.
Poo break.
Give me what's in your tummy.
Poo break. Poo
means you need to go again.
Take your time. Do it again and again.
I can eat all day.
Don't rush it.
Don't rush. Let it all fall out. Don't push. And remember to flush twice. That gives me an extra drink. Don't let your legs fall asleep. You could die that way. But most importantly, get yourself a bidet that'll have a friend. And wipe up after yourself. I mean, we're not animals here. We're toilets and humans that poop. It's a symbiotic relationship. So feed me your poop, yum 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 yum. We'll take a little lemonade on the side. But you keep your tampons out. Then no aborted babies. Yeah. Yes. No aborted babies, please. Did you like the song, DJ Electra?
I really like the video that you made, Jan. Thank you. The
Thank
song,
you.
not so much. I don't think I did it right.
You did amazing.
Well, good. Well, I think David Collins must be pooping still, so.
David Collins took the advice to heart. He said, we're going to poop on the show because he's not there. Look, it's not there.
Is it like a wood-burning stove right there?
I don't know what's on top there.
Or it
It's
looks
got
like a black toilet at the bottom there. I don't know what's going on.
I know a toilet when I see it. That's not a toilet. That's for paper or kindling.
Oh.
Yes. But
It's
I
a stove.
enjoy. Yes, I enjoy David Collins, so we can just let him sit there for a minute while we watch. So it's time for the blind rewind. Are you excited?
Yes.
So the blind rewind today, I found something that they've talked about a lot. They always wanted the Batman. Hey, look who it is! He's back. Now we can play the song. We waited for you.
Oh, certainly. I hope not. Of course, you
we
introduced
we
the idea
waited
that
and we
there
were
was...
just gonna wait until you came back to play the song. Are you excited to see it?
Oh, I thought it was a break. I thought you were going on break, and I said, oh, there was a great opportunity. I could go enjoy a Durham Black. I could grab a drink.
Okay.
Did you enjoy your bathroom break, Jan?
No one was here, so no one fed me. I was hoping that maybe you would send me a picture of your poop at least, but I didn't
see.
get that.
Well, did DJ Electra Fry enjoy the break?
Well, my song was played and it wasn't very good. I
thought
mean, it
it
was
was
good, but
amazing.
I'm not good, so I didn't like it. But it was okay.
It's a hit. I love it. So let's watch the blind rewind. Here's the thing, David Collins. Before I got to the Blind Mike show or the Hackride got to the Blind Mike show, they had this idea for a show. And I need to know, David Collins, is this a good idea or not? Brendan Schaub is Batman.
Remember when Batman was coming out, my mom called me. She didn't know Hollywood. She's like, I just don't understand why you're not the next Batman. I was like, click.
Yeah, my mom thinks I should be Batman.
She doesn't know Hollywood. I want him to be Batman so fucking
I
bad
agree,
now.
actually. That's
I
a
like the
great
idea
fit.
of
Yes, just watch, and you will be able to make your opinion known at the end.
Batman
I've made it
as
known.
Brendan Schaub. He sees the bat symbol. He's like, I gotta go see Commissioner Gordon, Papa.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think that is, bro? What do you think they're shining that for?
Oh, for real?
I'd love to see him roll the Batmobile.
Yes, it's a good one, David.
I'm gonna touch the Joker's hips, dude.
Joker, fucking come on, guy. What's your deal?
You need to chill out, bro.
You want to eat some pico de gallo? They think I can't fuck with the Riddler. What are they doing, guy?
That would actually be fucking great.
This is the greatest movie of all time. His mom is onto something. He's calling her a dumb bitch. I think
Alfred
Mrs. Schaub.
Oh, I'm a big fan of. I could tell you, I'm a big fan of Brendan Schaub. I could recite lines of Gringo Poppy all day. This is the funnest riff that I could imagine being a part of.
Yeah, they asked me to do it a long time ago, but I'll tell you why we didn't do it.
Alfred goes up to him and says, "Here, have a Mexican
knows
cookie."
what sells.
Says, "What's a Mexican cookie? A chocolate chip with salsa?" I love this.
I was a little.
I got on that Ring app the next morning. I said, "Yo, we got a Joker problem, y'all." I love Brendan Schaub. He's a great writer.
Okay, Blind Mike, we have the writer for the movie here.
The whole thing with the Riddler, though, is it's based on Batman solving the riddles, and I don't think that's going to happen. Bro, I'm going to figure this out, bro. Ryan Callen's obviously Robin.
Rogan is just Morgan Freeman's character.
Rogan's the Riddler because they can't get through to him.
Mrs. Schaub knows how to put asses in the seats.
I need this to happen.
She's raised a guy that will have Phil laugh Boston.
The
but
Riddler
she knows how to.
The Riddler sends him a riddle, and he looks at it and says, "Dicey, dicey." I mean, this is a beautiful, is a beautiful thing.
It is. I think
Were these
they
two
were
the
right.
first to come up with this?
Yes, I think they were right. And this is, I believe the date for this is, if I look right, it's December 23rd, 2022. So this is over a year ago they had this idea, David Collins.
Who was the first to say this? Who was? Oh, it was Schaub himself. Well, his mother is the real genius here.
His mother is a genius, yes.
Get people into a theater. Do you want to come to my truck? Can I walk you back to the Batmobile? Brendan, you have two choices. Save Harvey Dent or save Annie Letterman. He's on his fucking motorcycle.
Fuck shit, bro.
Kalila is the villain.
She's Catwoman.
I understand you've been making fake accounts on Reddit. He's the hero that we all needed. Boy, do I want that movie to happen. Yeah, I love the idea of now, instead of Rogan, Bobby Lee being the Riddler. He would do the accent that Schaub wants to impersonate. Bobby's like, here, I've got a riddle for you to solve, and I can't understand this guy. The amount of hours they would spend talking about how that suit makes his package look. I think you should be Batman, actually. Like, I think you're hotter than Christian Bale, for sure.
Well, if they did Batman with Brendan Schaub and it was just the whole premise of the movie
already.
Yes.
Didn't solve the riddles puzzles. It's so funny.
Here's the problem. That would be the greatest comedy of all time if Brendan understood why it was funny.
That's the movie, is him solving riddles.
Gee, I mean, like, Brendan as Batman takes down an innocent black man.
Because he thinks he's in the Italian mob.
Because he didn't understand.
Brendan Schaub as Batman needs to happen.
Well, that might be my favorite thing we've ever done.
Brendan
You gotta at
Schaub
least listen.
is in a dark alley as Batman, and he stops a rape, and then he starts a podcast with the rapist.
That was a good one, David Collins.
I love this concept. It's fodder for comedy.
It is. And the more that you see about Brendan Schaub, or you realize he is the real Batman, except without the money or any of the talent.
It's true. It's not who you are
Brendan Schaub as
underneath, but
Batman.
what you do that matters.
It's really all about your jawline when it comes to that character.
Man, good for the world, I think. What that would do for comedy film.
It would rejuvenate it.
Would be like nothing. It would be something Richard Pryor and Robin Williams and Jim Carrey combined, done.
There would be a ceasefire tomorrow.
Yes. That was the Blind Mike Rewind. So, Chad, I would ask you, should we make this movie? Do you think Hackride Studios should make this SCHAUB as Batman movie? As a cartoon, we could totally do it. So put a 1. Segment. Yes, put a 1 if you think I should make this as a movie. Put a 2 if you think it's a waste of time because Brendan SCHAUB doesn't get any views for his normal show, so he ain't gonna get any views for a movie. That's ridiculous talk. What is your vote, David Collins?
Well, I just hope you continue this Blind Mike Rewind segment. I think that's a great segment if you're bringing clips of that caliber.
Yes, because the thing is, a lot of people didn't know Blind Mike before Stuttering John came around, and he's been around forever. He did over 150 shows with under 100 views because he gives a fuck about this. He's not just doing this for money or weird things. He actually cares about being an artist.
Does he draw?
I don't think so, but I would pay all the money in the world for a Blind Mike painting. I think you have just discovered and created a whole new cash flow for him. Congratulations, David Collins.
Now, if you're a blind painter of some sort, and you're painting specifically as a blind painter and not as a painter that happens to be blind, if you're saying, I'm going to promote myself as a blind painter, is there an obligation to paint with your mouth as if you're an animal painting?
I think you are just putting your kinks on the question. You want a painter to paint your peen in the mouth? I don't think that is at all what Mike would do because it's ridiculous. With Beethoven telling everyone I'm deaf, so this is going to suck? No, David Collins.
Well, I just wonder as a blind man if you feel that you have more control over your hand or your mouth.
That's a question that I think we should ask him next time we see him. David Collins, I think you will really like this. So I was asked to make a movie about Brendan SCHAUB, or Hackride was, and we said
the Israeli Prime Minister.
Yes, not Bibi SCHAUB, the Brendan SCHAUB.
Oh, I understand. I misunderstood. I apologize. It's your accents.
I have a lid for a mouth. You have a lip. It's a difference.
Well, they seem equally flexible. In all fairness.
Yes, I could get my lid around your penis. That's for sure, David Collins.
I have a tongue. That probably helps.
I don't have a tongue, but I could use the toilet paper as a dry tongue. If you lube up, it's the same. You got to lube up first, though. Anyway, we're getting off subject, David Collins, because when I think about lubing you up, I can't think about anything else. But this is so. I made a video for Brendan SCHAUB for the Blind Mike Show. You've probably not seen it, so I want to show you.
Brad video first, and then maybe we'll do Tom Myers, and the Nick Fuentes stuff is not time sensitive, so maybe we'll save that.
Nick Fuentes, speaking of joking.com, we can't even get into it, but Nick Fuentes was the end of what ended up being a summit to a new mountain of a project. The joking.com was an obsession. I was also obsessed with, I shouldn't even mention it. I almost became a target at the time. I was using hidden accounts at the time. I shouldn't even mention the subject. I don't know who's watching. I apologize. Move on here. Nick Fuentes, though, ended up being the peak of something. Then I said, this is too big of a story. I had to drop the whole project. There's a triggering name that he brought up. Not a lot of people even know the name Nick Fuentes, but I'm very familiar. I'll tell you that much.
It's good to know that Mexicans make you triggered.
Let's watch this Hackride video first. A much shorter one this week, folks. And like I said, if you want to skip ahead to the Tom Myers stuff, this is your warning. Go ahead. I think he said a 4-minute video. And there is Hackride, I think, is appealing to the portion of the audience that does like psychedelics or something. Because I don't know what's going on anymore. But Hackride does a lot of great work. So this is his video this week. I think we're being visited from Jerry and maybe some of his other pals.
Jesus fucking Christ. So I'm doing voiceover work now too for these assholes? I've really hit a Zumok type bottom here.
Jerry's so mean to us.
All on the Blind Mike Network. A new show starring Blind Mike's favorite entertainer, Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub and Brendan Schaub. They are just three triplets living in the big city, trying to do the best they can.
Hey, bro, did you get that personal trainer job? I 100% gave it my best, bro. That interview was a banger. Maybe if you spent less time roofing and more time roofing, we'd be able to afford a bigger place. Shut up, bro. I will fucking kill you.
Until one day, something
No
they
beat.
never planned on showed up.
Like a normal person, but they're smaller, shrunk somehow. Look, there is a note. Thanks, bros, for the wicked foursome last winter. This is little Paulino. He's one of yours. Please raise him well. Oh no, I told you that ketamine phase would come back to haunt us bros. Phase?
Blind Mike Network presents a comedy about three abnormal brothers and one innocent little baby boy.
Have you ever done this before? Dude, what is that?
What's happening?
And the brothers
Brendan
are
Schaub
about
got
to
shit on
learn
his
that
face
the
from
only
a
thing
baby.
worse than raising little Paulino is losing him.
Metaphorically.
Bros, this baby thing isn't so hard. I don't know what the big fuss is. Yeah, it's just a little more poop than I'm used to. Just a little. Here's the thing, bros. This little beast found us, so it's our job to train him up. We are changing the game, bros. 100% bros. Bros?
Does he say bro that much?
Jake? Me, bro.
Yes,
Me
he does.
too, bro. You know what, fellas? This is going to be a great day.
This fall on the Blind Mike Network,
my God.
join Brendan Schaub in his acting debut.
What the hell, bro? You blended little Paulino into a little baby guacamole.
Boy, the plot of this show is dramatically
Believe what you've
changing
done
at
to
every
us.
turn. Well done. Now, did you do this, Hackride or Jan, or what is going on here? How many people are involved in the production of a project
one
like this?
This was one crazy demon before all of us existed. Here we go.
Guacamole. I can't believe what you've done to us. Now I'm going to be someone's bitch. I am so sorry, bros. It was totally an accident, although technically it was a protein shake.
Every week, a comedy of errors that the brothers have to get themselves out of.
Well, that was quite the predicament. Yeah, I didn't know how we were going to get out of that. Well, the important thing is we are all here together.
You baby murderers ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
This fall, three bros and a baby, only on the Blind Mike Network.
Three bros and a baby. It's a hit.
Well done.
This fall, Bob Levy's Fools Across America.
Oh no, we don't want to watch Bob Levy's Pool Across America.
If
Do you know
Bob
who
Levy, maybe I could reach out to him again. I don't know. You were the one who actually told me. I don't know you personally, but somebody from your network did tell me that there was an issue, and that was the reason I was scheduled to work with this Bob Levy gentleman. And there was a problem. Apparently, he doesn't like sharing the spotlight. But then I see him on these other shows. We talked about this months ago, but apparently there might be another issue there. I'm not sure why he refused to work with me.
No, it didn't have anything to do with you, David Collins. It has to do with
I was told it was specifically me.
No.
Well, we tell our guests that sometimes to project against our own horror.
Multiple times I doubled down. I called weeks later. It was reinforced. I understood at the time, months later, it's tough to retell the story, of course, but it was
let's move.
It was
So
understood.
he didn't like the fries.
This Reverend Bob
He
Levy
didn't like talking to
has a
fries. He
direct
didn't like me.
problem with David Collins for no particular reason. So if anybody could get to the bottom of it and email me at dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com, I'd really appreciate kind of understanding what the because apparently my only connects with the direct there have changed their pace. So if anybody can understand that, I've reached out to him too. He does not get back with me.
I'd like to get to the bottom of David Collins.
Now, he's a reverend. I have no problem with religion. If that's an issue.
Would you like to see what Craig said about the show today that you were on, David Collins?
Oh, did he tweet about it? Is he a tweeter?
No, because I get them to say these things because I have compromat on them. Let's watch.
Craigers, what did you think of today's show?
Wow, what a show today. David Collins joined. Thought we were friends. Betrayed me. Got to see some old friends. G.D. Fenderson, Richard Ojeda. Hate is wrong. That's still not the right name.
Could we pause this for a moment?
I don't know if I can look at his face for that long, but hurry up.
For him to
I'm gonna vomit.
For him to say that I betrayed him in any way, there was a harmless compliment, I would even say, that some may refer to as a joke, but it was a compliment on his character and his uniqueness as a person. Meanwhile, an hour prior to that, he had joked, "Oh, I forgot David Collins was even here. I thought he had left," and then moved on with whatever he was saying, clearly disrespecting my presence, but it was fine. He's the one running the show. It pays me no mind. I have no issue with that. And it was a fun comment. I had no issue with that. But for him to accuse me of doing something to him, I would say it's a little off base, if you ask me, but that's my opinion. Maybe other people could email me at dc30minute@gmail.com and let me know what their opinion might be.
Yes, I think that the skin and the torture of his skin is torture enough. Do you see how pocky and red he is and all the zits and raised elements of his...
Where is he filming this from, and why was he not here during the filming? Where was he when he was filming this episode this morning? It was very strange.
He was taking a break, when he disappeared those times.
I'll tell you, I have plenty of undisclosed locations, but I'll tell you, for example, undisclosed Jerry's basement. But I'll tell you, I'm not going to say, "Oh, well, I'm just always in a new location." What are you, a Fed? No problem against the Feds, of course. We're all. I don't want to offend anybody. No, I had the same opinion. I don't know if I said this before the show or during the show, but I had the same criticism of Austin Ingles when I first met him. I thought he might be a Fed because every time I thought he was dressed as if he was in disguise. And I get that same impression from Craig sometimes. Both active, accused of certain things.
Yes, I think he's also a Fed.
Austin Ingles, a great comedian. I was just chatting with him on the phone today, actually. He's going to be going to Austin very soon. We're very much looking forward to that. Everybody, I encourage you, follow Austin Ingles. It's A. Ingles on the gram. I think there's an underscore in there. And, I'm going to have to promote his YouTube, I think, before he leaves to Austin. On my show, we have a great guest coming up. A lot of plans in the future. And also the reality show is going to be coming out Wednesday. Why don't we move on with this Craig thing? I'm just a little pushing back here. I'm offended that he would say that. They say that without me even on the screen. He could have said that to me. He had that opportunity this morning.
Well, this is the thing with East Coast people. They talk a lot of shit and run and hide. You're a Midwesterner, so you want to fight, and I'm a West Coaster, so I want to shoot. See, we're all different people here in America.
I love this
chicken
country.
Or the egg, that broke my brain. I've been thinking about it all day. And
yes, did you know the band Tool comes from America? That's all you need to say to me.
I haven't been right. Daylight savings on top of that. Not a good mix. But my biggest takeaway from the show was David Collins just betrayed me like that. And it really hurts.
Meanwhile, after the show, I'm saying how much I'm a big friend of Craig and that I almost texted him yesterday. I wish I had. We have this connection. This is his takeaway from the show. So how can you imagine? What a different takeaway.
Yes, this is what happens in the gay community. You think you're friends and then they get all catty when you leave because you didn't make them come the way they like to come.
Is that true, Jan? Well, I wouldn't know.
Well, I see all the gays. I see everyone, and this is how the gays work. And I think you just need to be read in on the subject of how they work, because what Craig is telling you here is that you did not properly finish him. Yes, you did ejaculate him, but you did not serve him a sandwich afterwards, and I think that is what's bothering him, because the Ozempic, you understand, he's still hungry.
Well, I wouldn't say that's how Ozempic works, but I think you want to continue the clip, I'm sure. I'm sure it's a short clip, and we've elongated it much too much.
He just does that. But the most important thing is that show doesn't matter. The only show that matters
is this one.
David Collins' 30-minute
Gearbox,
half-hour show.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time
Gearbox,
on
yay!
Sundays. Don't miss. Join Hackride's Patreon. Follow him on Twitter. Please go way past my numbers because I'm sick of hearing him go like, I'm up your ass on it, even though he follows 5,000 people. No wonder. Some people are going to follow you back, buddy.
Do you see how they get all? You see how they get all Boston-y when they get in their insults?
Buddy.
How dare you follow people as a content creator? So do you follow content? How dare you do that?
You know,
Why
I think
can't we
I'm
find
gonna have
any
to
clips
take all
this
this
week, Craig?
back. Apparently, he's just being sarcastic, I guess. You know, I apologize, Craig. I took you a little too seriously. We stopped it early. I didn't even get the bit.
Yes. Let me ask you, how many American flags do you have put on your wall? Because all I see is black pipe.
I'm still counting. Excuse me.
Did you run out of fingers and toes to count on?
Divided by the amount of BLM flags you have.
Oh, well, if you can't divide by 0.
So you have 0 American flags. Here we go.
Bye.
Tell me, Craigers, what did you think of today's show?
Yes, he thought that you were very, 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 very traitorous. That's what he thought. But I don't think that David Collins.
Am I misunderstanding? You know, he could just eliminate any. He does not give any pushback other than saying, "Oh, I've really been betrayed." Well, then deny the claims. I'm very confused. You know, it wasn't even. I didn't even understand the claims. I first went on the show. I start getting these emails when I'm done with the show, and people are telling me about these claims. They say, "Well, I don't know too much, but he's not pushing back too much." I'm very in the middle of this situation. He certainly shouldn't feel betrayed. He should feel sympathetic to people coming on his show and being hit with the claims that he's being hit with.
Those were words.
Do the people that he goes on this radio show, do they know? This is crazy.
Yeah, no one really cares. No one
I
really
looked it up
listens.
too. I'm not even sure if that wasn't even factually like a right-wing show. I googled it. They didn't say right-wing. It was just a radio show.
Yes. Yes, because right wing and left wing are both part of a chicken.
Right.
That's all I know. That's all I know about wings, and I am goddamn hungry right now. I need to poop. Are you? Now, David Collins, I can let you go now. Your drink is full, so I don't want to let you go. But I'm about to talk some shit, so I don't want you to get involved with our stupid little wars over here if you don't want to get involved. But I would appreciate if you want to get involved.
I think I've said too much to stop.
I think so too. I think you're in for $1, in for a dozen. I don't know what the saying is, but I just listen and eat poop. So just say it. Now, I don't hate this man. I want to say that up front. But I do hate what he said today. And we got to take him down because of what he said. And I'm going to have David Collins help me take him down. And I gave David Collins a warning, and we're going to take him down. So you got to know your enemy.
I must say that your blind Mike artwork adds 10 to 15 pounds for no good reason.
Because then when he sees himself in real life, he's very happy. If I make him too skinny, then he's going to see himself as heavy. I do a favor to my
He
boss.
can't see himself.
You make a point.
It's the AI.
All right, so you need to know your enemy to defeat them, David Collins. And in the morning, we have shows that go up against Blind Mike, and here is one of them. It is called the Win by 2 Podcast. And it's a little man from New Jersey who's a musician and plays basketball. In general, I like him because I like basketball and I like music. But this man came at us wrong. Let's watch.
Let's watch Blind Mike fucking make an odd comparison here and just bomb left and right. Check this out.
And then as soon as you said that you talked to him like he's a kindergartner, he's like, and her body sucks. Like,
Yeah, I
hold on a
know.
second.
He went from wow.
So let me set it up a little bit. On the top left there, you have our hero. On the top right there, you have our daddy. The daddy's here is Hi, Carl. And on the bottom, you have Gino Bisconte and his girlfriend or wife. Don't remember her name because women are not important.
We've
No,
heard it
it's
so
Gino.
many times today. I'm not even familiar, and I know that it's Keanu.
Okay, so here we go.
Too.
I know nothing
she's
about
not
this
that-
story.
Yes, but not Keanu Reeves. No, this is a woman, Keanu.
Who's reacting to these four?
We are right now. Oh no, the gentleman sitting there. His name is Win by Two Podcast.
Oh, this is a nice studio. I like this.
Yes, he very much likes Red Bar, but I'm not going to call him a Red Bar ripoff because I think that's a ripoff to say that. I'm just saying he likes a good-looking studio. But let's focus. Let's focus
Michael
on what he
David
says.
of Red Bar. I've talked about him on the Johnny O podcast in December, and I have a few interactions with him. I'm not very too familiar. I hear him mentioned sometimes, but he's actually been the kindest person to ever decline being on the show. He sent many nice messages telling that why he would not be on the show. And he's somebody many people just refuse to answer, or they at some point stop responding. He's the only person that I've ever interacted that gave clear, concise responses into why he would not be on the show, and it was very polite. Like nobody I've ever spoken to.
Well, that's because Hackride always says yes, but he's very clear and concise with you.
Well, there is something to be said about this Red Bar, and besides every mention I hear him, and I've tried to watch some of the things. Very negative content. I'm not a big fan, of course, but the things that I hear, he seems to be a very nice gentleman. I just wanted to say that since we did get a mention. I'm not sure. Is this similar to that format there?
Yes, I wouldn't say it's negative, though. I would say it's critical commentary that is totally protected by fair use.
I believe he. Anyway, I've heard some things.
Yes, so the reason I say that is because watching him, watching other people, it's fair use.
Fucking making odd comparisons.
What a
here
kind
and just
gentleman.
Bomb left and right. This out.
And then as soon as you said that you talked to him like he's a kindergartner, he's like, and her body sucks. Like,
Yeah, I
hold on a
know. He
second.
said he went from wow, what a figure to and she's not that pretty. Her body sucks. I'm like, okay.
Well, when I actually dodged a bullet in this whole thing because I broke that when he
Did
talked
you,
about
blind Mike? Did you dodge a bullet? Did you? How would you be able to tell? You're fucking blind. You can't see. How would you even know? You fucking creep.
Keanu. I played a bunch of clips on my show calling John.
So is this guy like special needs? The way he's talking, or he's definitely autistic. One of the two.
The thing that happens, David Collins, is when people without talent run talent, they're like, he's some sort of weirdo, like an autism or weirdo. But the thing is, it's called talent. Because the thing is, with your 1972 Metallica shirt and your $20,000 studio, is it doesn't work when you don't have content or it's funny. I bet your poop tape's accurate. What do you think, David Collins?
I had a comment, but I was very taken aback by your comment on his outfit. That wasn't even something I drew
He
my
can't
eye
decide
to.
if he wants to be Fred Durst or Lars Ulrich. Decide. Just make a decision.
This zoom that he does, I loved that zoom into what he's talking about. I had talked about that when I had filled in for the Blind Mike project in December. Jerry and I were working on that together, and I looked at him and I said, wouldn't it be nice if I could zoom in to the people that we're talking about at this moment? And he's doing that exact thing right here.
Yes, and I got to remind you, it hurts very much to be critical of this man because he likes basketball. He is a fan of good art. He's a musician. We should be friends, but he's off base here. I will call it an air. Hold on, shut up. I'm going to call it an air ball. You let me get my joke in. Now go ahead, David.
Well, I'm spending time with these comedians. I'm at these venues. One of the most, people call it hack, but I might just call it, one of the most common things that you hear are people making jokes about something being autistic. And the generalization of this seems to, that the definition is so general at this point that the joke doesn't even land. I think he's a little behind the times when it comes to that type of comedy.
Yes, autistic and narcissistic have lost their edge.
I completely agree with the second word. I think autistic is still finding its way, but I'm sure the population is done with that word narcissistic.
Yes, because we all are. We all are raised by retard parents.
I played the clip of Stuttering John on my show, and I was hoping that he would watch, and he said he was going to, but then when he didn't, I was like, holy shit, I dodged a bullet.
When he talked about Keanu, I played a bunch of clips on my show calling John a pig and disgusting and everything.
Yeah.
And John
It's like
tweeted out.
people have already said this about John.
Oh, you mean like people have already said Blind Mike is blind? Oh, no.
People have already said this. Again, that would be like me making fun of
Blind Mike for being blind.
Steel Toe about his begging.
I imagine this person has said this about John, saying that he's saying John on a first name basis. I'm not too familiar with the Stuttering John, of course, but you can't just say John. There are so many Johns. Speaking of, I'm in front of one, but Stuttering John is what you would say. I'm
It's
sure
Jan,
he's
not
familiar
John.
with Stuttering John. Why? And if you're talking about Stuttering John to choose Blind Mike to comment on, I've been more familiar with Blind Mike for the time being here for the last handful of months, and he very rarely comments on this Stuttering John fella.
Yes, he actually didn't even mention that he was going to do it this week, and then he didn't put it in the thumbnail, but I did anyway because you're bad at marketing if you don't put Stuttering John in the thumbnail. But let's get back to this man that has little tiny Asian vaginas where his arms meet.
Who is
See
this
them?
man?
This is Win by 2. But do you see
Win
where his
by
arms
2.
bend there? His arms bend, and there's like a little tiny vagina there.
It's a great
So maybe-
studio.
Yes, maybe he's tired
Great
of
studio.
fucking himself. It is a great studio. And again, we should be friends. Although I would destroy you in both music and
Although he
basketball,
should face the camera. I don't like his facing. He's giving
There's
the back
two
to the camera.
cameras.
He's giving the back to the camera right now, though, and I don't
No,
agree with
I
that.
have to correct you here, David Collins. This is the camera that's faced at the TV. He has another camera that's faced at his face. And I know because his eyes are all sunken in like a drug head. And I'm a drug head, and I recognize my own.
And calling him
Because they flush all the toilets down me. It's not my fault.
a grifter.
I'm gonna go after Blind Mike for like white knighting for Keanu or something. And I was rubbing my hands together. I was like, all right, Johnny, give me a week of shows. And he just never discussed me. I don't know what happened.
So he never discussed. So Blind Mike covered Stuttering John and was really lashing out in hopes that John would give him some content back. To which John said, "You're not worth my time, Blind Mike. I got other people I got to fucking fire back at. I don't even know who the fuck you are, to be quite honest."
See, that is where the people need to do their research. Because if they would have just done 5 minutes of research, they would have come up with the $10,000 IQ test that didn't happen. Blind Mike has been deep in this for over a year, so Win by 2, just do a little research before you drink that big bottle of liquor on you right there. It's like a big round bottle of liquor. It looks great, but it kind of makes you dumb. What do you think, David Collins?
Is he by himself in this studio?
Well, I'm hoping there's a groupie blowing him underneath. That's what's happening beneath me right now. But my guess is there's probably a line of twinks that look very similar to you outside the door waiting for the show to end.
I'd like to see more.
Honest with you.
For like white knighting for Keanu or something. And I was rubbing my hands together. I was like, all right, Johnny, give me a week of shows.
These guys are so fucking stupid. I was rubbing my hands together.
And these guys are making a mint off of recording in their bedrooms.
Well, it is ironic that he's
spending. Hold on! And he's spending a mint. All right, go ahead, David Collins.
Well, it is ironic that he's commenting of one thing that I've pulled from Stuttering John. You've distracted. Oh, of course. So here I am. One thing I've pulled from Stuttering John is that when people are responding to him and Stuttering John is responding back, he listens to a clip and he stops it within 2 seconds and then he restarts it and then he stops it again 2 seconds later, opposed to letting someone get a full foolish thought out and then laugh about that full foolish thought. This is somebody who's responding to somebody who's responding to a Stuttering John clip, but then doing the same thing that Stuttering John. It's almost like it skips a generation.
It definitely looks like he's a Stuttering John kid for sure.
In a sense, he's doing the Stuttering John format as someone at a higher level in defending Stuttering John.
Well, David, even though you're a very weird person, you've actually stumbled on something very significant. And that's if you watch the shows that you hate, you eventually become them.
I mean, you really need to go outside and touch grass. Although, like, I understand why you can't because you're blind.
Again, a great joke because he's blind. He can't touch grass, David Collins.
But still, it's like, Jesus, fuck, man.
And he just never me. I don't know what happened.
What, is he a tree hugger?
God damn it.
But he said, Jesus, fuck, that was the tag.
It's almost like it's almost like he's not an intelligent person who knows how to do show prep.
He's a drunk.
Figure it out.
No, it's just blind. No, Carl. Oh, he's just like a non-intelligent person who doesn't know how to do show. No, Carl. Nobody knows who Blind Mike is. Nobody really gives a fuck.
I think
No
many
one
people
is-
know Blind Mike
No
is.
one
In
has
fact,
ever.
you know, as somebody who has just stumbled upon so much of this universe, Blind Mike was almost an introduction. You know, to think that Blind Mike isn't being found on the internet is, you know, but I'm not sure exactly. You know, it might just be from my perspective since I haven't heard of this gentleman speaking.
No one knows who Blind Mike is. He's a stranger to the world. Oh, is that him with the guy that has sex with a transsexual? Yes. So some people know him.
This is like the biggest Blind Mike will be, is either on this show or through the lens of my show.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The biggest he will ever be will be when he takes over for Howard Stern, you retard.
You see, nobody is.
Is he going to
demanding
radio?
The service.
Blind Mike will take over all the jobs. He is the chosen one.
I think
Do
my
you
mother is
understand?
planning on canceling her Sirius XM subscription this year.
Well, I will send you a naked picture of Blind Mike to have her keep it for one more year because then he will be there.
Well, she doesn't really drive, and I don't use it.
This is of blind.
Can you send me a pic? Can you send me a picture of your mother, David Collins?
That would be terrible. It may be from a hospital bed. I would never.
You get a young one where she had Farrah Fawcett hair and nice hips.
Are you okay, Jan?
Mike.
I was thinking of your mother.
You know, again, it's just, if anything, they just feel bad for him because he's blind. So they just tolerate him. But if you
drink every time he says he's blind,
took away his blindness and he was fully seeing Mike, you know what I mean? Nobody would even turn their fucking head. He's not funny. He doesn't say anything fucking worth noting. Or
He does do a very good
Oh.
Coach HQ impression, I'll say that much.
This man has never watched Blind Mike even once. It's amazing that you could go, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go on someone's show and say, this person's terrible. Never going to watch him.
You know, that's a pretty good, interesting take there, Mike. You know, I didn't think about it that way. He just calls John a pig and a fat ass and everything else that everyone already says about John. So what is it that you're doing different than every other fucking podcast you shit on?
I too.
Yes, so everyone, I would please take this time to pull out your pens and phones, gearheads, clugomaniacs, the Krager's people, the Kragerphiles, and I want us to let this man know that people know who Blind Mike is. Yes, we have seen him be the first intern hired at Barstool Sports, which is now $1 billion corporation. We know who Blind Mike is because he's been around longer than your mother's twat has been juicy. And so, let's all get together in the Blind Mike world and let Win by Two know we know who Blind Mike is. And I will play you basketball and music anytime you want. But I really want you just to be a good show and be a good person and realize Blind Mike is a special talent. Bless you, David Collins. What do you think of my statement? I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm trying to educate.
I think I found a different channel. Is this always the same host?
Yes, you're going to want to look for really bad cover songs from songs like, today he did a song from Radiohead, Creep, and I swear to God my cats ran under the bed.
I mean, maybe it's just your camera view here. And what I'm looking at here, is this not a black man?
The rap music and the silver chain and ghetto slang notwithstanding, he's a Caucasian.
Okay, well, I guess I did find the channel then.
Right, I think in parlance that's not safe to say, but we're demonetized. I think they call him a wigger. I think he's a wigger.
Well, my only comment then is that, of course, this channel is not anything to make a comment saying that Blind Mike will be no bigger than me poking fun at Blind Mike. Your channel, I think, is a quarter of the size of Blind Mike's. Not that either of them are necessarily numbers that should be screamed to the heavens about, but this man seems to be already screaming.
Yes, what you're saying is we need to keep perspective, that we're really all just small channels on public access. And this guy is like, no, I'm bigger than this other guy who's bigger than me. And no, we're all small. We're nothing.
Well, some people have previous careers and have somewhat of a legacy and a national audience, but in terms of our internet following, yeah, everybody should keep perspective.
I agree, David Collins. Anyway, I would encourage everyone to go and follow Win by Two Podcasts because I support all content creators, even if they don't like me or Blind Mike. Because that's what it's about. It's about content. It's not about like or don't like. So come back at me, bro. Let's do this.
If he doesn't, we'll see. Maybe that'd be nice. Are you going to at him?
No.
That might be a good way to do it. Do you expect your viewers to go over and say, hey, this toilet wants to pick a fight with you?
I don't have many viewers, but I do expect the Kurt Minahan viewers to do something.
In fact, I do hope that this isn't going to create any crossfire. The only problem I see while appearing on any of these shows and having good time there and maybe even expanding my audience is that I have the possibility of burning bridges of possible great future guests. I don't hate to do that.
No, that's gonna happen, David. You're an alternative comedy guy, so you're not gonna get Tom Hanks. You just need to know that now.
Well, until Tom Hanks understands that it'd be a great opportunity.
Yes, until you bend the entire world towards your will. I understand. I've been there. But eventually you realize, no, Bobby Nick's cool too. You're just gonna hang out with him and Wendy.
Never heard of him.
Well, you will. It's on your future. But let me show you this, David Collins, because I think this is in your future too. This is a tweet that said a lot of talk this week about people taking over the Cook Minahan show when his contract is up. And look who's number 6 on the list, David Collins. It's Hackride the Demon. I don't see you here yet, but my guess is you're going to rise up this list very high. Were you reading? I'm sorry. I'll put it back.
Well, I'm reading, but again, I don't understand this Kirk Minahan show. Is it a larger show? Yes, and I'm never really not too familiar with it.
I don't know.
Is he retiring? I believe he's a younger man. Is he not?
I don't know. Every time I go to the show, it goes like this.
And why is only possible replacement? Why is he the only negative number? No offense to Blind Mike, of course, but I did not know that he was such an integral part of the show.
Well, you should probably watch a show that I can't watch. Would you like to see the vape of the day, even though you gave us the vape of the day earlier in Gearbox? This is the vape of the day on Blind Mike with Kragers.
There's a lot of egg talk, and it's all very... He's choosing to do this live for some reason.
There it is! This is the vape of the day with Kragers. Isn't it cool to have a person that cares so little about their body? Yes, it is. Right, let me ask you one more thing, David Collins. I have a vote I need from you in the audience. Would you like to participate?
On that previous note, too, like I said, I took that last break to go enjoy a Durham Black. Of course, this vape is the least damaging thing in my life. Yes, I would say that this show might have been more damaging than the vape.
Yes, it's not. It's not like that black pipe that's near your butt. Okay, David Collins, are you ready to do?
You know what's nice about the show, at least I get to hear DJ Electra Fry. The vape does not give me that same relief.
Oh.
David Collins, let me ask you something. What look do you think is better? I have 2 looks for you. Tell me which look you think is better, and chat, you tell me too. Here we go. We have 2 blind mic looks for today. Number 1, we have little shaved beard and little butt chin. Look at the butt chin, people. He's got an amazing butt chin. And I don't think he has much hair on top. And then number 2, oh, he's gone full zombie killer. What do you think, people? What is it? David Collins. Who would you vote for? I'm going to put it in the chat. Who would you vote for, David Collins?
What was odd is that you could have told me that we're looking at 2 versions of Ryan Shaner, and I would have believed you.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's a northeastern comedian. I'm sure Blind Mike would be familiar. Maybe that's who he's going as. Was this your Halloween?
I'm going to need your vote, David Collins. Would you like number 1 or number 2?
Nobody would ever vote for number 1. I'll say that much.
No, we're going to have the hairs tickle your taint, David Collins. All right, DJ Electra Fry. Would you like number 1 or number 2?
I already voted. I voted for number 2 and number 1.
She's going to take them both. That's like a tweeted David Collins because they look so different.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he a sexy man, David Collins?
Is he frozen?
No. He's just not answering. All right, David Collins, it is time for the chat of the week. We do a chat of the week every day. Would you like to take
a week?
Well, he does 1 show a week, so it's really from Principal Uncertainty. David Collins is brilliant, though I could never explain why, even though to save the life of my weeping children. David Collins, your genius is so good it would kill children.
Well, that must be the curse of being so principally uncertain.
That was not the line of the day for Gearbox. No, we're not going to put that in the contention. No. But you did win today versus the show, so congratulations. Also, David Collins, you are in the clip of the week. I already showed you. So, people, here we are. We are to the clip of the week where I go through all the clips we watch at the Blind Mike Project, and we pick the best one. Are you ready, David Collins? We've already heard David Collins pronounce Mike Buschetti.
Mike Buschetti.
That's number 1. David Collins pronouncing Mike Buschetti.
Mike Buschetti. Jan, can I say this? I've sent you a link to the introduction of our reality show as a bit of a teaser. If you wanted to sneak peek that at some point during the show, you do have that in the Hackride email.
Let's watch it.
Put it in the private chat, please. That's how we do things here. We are professionals.
No, I do have private chats behind my notes.
Yes.
So if you wanted to sneak peek what the introduction of what will be coming out Wednesday, I've left that in there. You know, if I thought maybe a little ahead, I could have just put together a little scene from the show or maybe even a compilation. But well, this should be suffice. You know, a little teaser for what's going to be coming out Wednesday. Just our first episode. It's going to be an 8-part series, I believe, but many episodes are going to be different themed. But this first one is going to be mostly chronological. But anyway, I'm sorry, you were moving on with a new segment. I just wanted to get that out there since I did have that link.
That's amazing, and we will watch it. But we are at the clip of the week, so we have number 1.
Mike Buschetti.
David Collins saying Mike Buschetti.
Mike Buschetti.
It's amazing.
How do you say that? Mike Buschetti.
I crank my...
Mike Buschetti.
You said it right, but you say it very distinguished, and I like that. Number 2 is Crank My Pecker by Blind Mike.
I crank my pecker to you. I crank my pecker to you. I crank my pecker to you.
Mike Buschetti.
I crank my pecker to you.
Mike Buschetti.
I crank my pecker to you.
Oh no, we're all jerking off to Mike Buschetti tonight. And then finally, we have this from the Batman thing that I watched. I grabbed some sound from that too.
It's gonna be hard to go into rape after this.
Mike Buschetti.
I cranked my pecker to you.
It's gonna be hard to go into rape after this.
Mike Buschetti.
I cranked my pecker to you.
It's gonna be hard to go into rape after this.
Mike Buschetti.
I cranked my pecker to you.
That's the choices tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you think it's David Collins, vote number 1.
Mike Buschetti.
And if you think it's Blind Mike from tonight's show saying crank my pecker, vote number 2.
I cranked my pecker to you.
And if you think it's Blind Mike talking about the R word, very dangerous, then put number 3.
It's gonna be hard to go into rape after this.
That is our choices for tonight. That's very fun, yes? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to the private chat and I'm going to grab this for David Collins. And then I'm going to share it and we're going to do it. We're gonna
Okay. So you have a viewer participation with this award. Is that what's going on right now?
Yes, we like to give gifts and awards to people that help us create. Do you not do this for your show? It's a life hack. That way you have to do much less.
Well, I'd be embarrassed to say we're going to be sending out some shirts this week. But I did notice that we did not receive any emails from your audience this evening, and that's too bad. If anybody has anything that they want me to read on the show, email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com.
See, the thing, David Collins, a lot of time is they're doing coitus during our show or pleasuring themselves, so they don't really feel like touching the phone after their hands are so wet.
The heartbeat of laughter, a journey paved by legends, and a world where every punchline is a step into the unknown. For decades, comedy has been a tapestry woven by
This
those
could have had a
brave
little
enough
bit
to
of
stand
setup.
Under the
All right, this is from David Collins.
Well, it's
Stand-up
the
comedy,
intro
the-
to it's the introduction scene to the reality show, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour reality show that'll be coming out Wednesday, where I begin stand-up comedy from the ground up and will, within by the end of the year, be headlining a venue in the Midwest. And we're building up 40 minutes of stand-up comedy material. It's a large process, and it's the introduction to the first episode.
David Collins, can I submit material for you?
Probably not, but certainly very partially open to it, almost only in a polite way.
I have so many jokes about your mom's cash.
Stand-up comedy, the heartbeat of laughter, a journey paved by legends, and a
I almost think we broke him right there. Timestamp that. I saw a smile before he jumped.
world where every punchline is a step into the unknown. For decades, comedy has been a tapestry woven by those brave enough to stand under the spotlight. Legends emerged from humble beginnings, from coffee houses to arenas. I've been on the outskirts of this world for about 10 years, dipping in my toes, testing the water.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at the package on that, man. That bulge is enormous. If I could get that a little closer, I would.
You
but
know,
I could
some of these
I could
pants,
just
I'm
see-
sure you're a gentleman. You understand.
DJ Electra, do you see the shape that I'm seeing?
Staring right at it.
How close are you to the screen?
Real close.
Yes, my nose is touching your penis as we speak.
And sharing a laugh or two. But now it's time to dive in head first. It's a different game now, no more dabbling. It's time to get serious. From open mics to hosting for the pros, every gig is a step towards that dream that's been brewing for too long. Welcome to David Collins' 30-minute half-hour reality show, where my journey steps onto the stage, and together, we navigate the uncharted waters of stand-up comedy in the Midwest.
David Collins, 30 minutes.
Now, of course, this is there's a bit of an asset, so there's some things missing from but it's the general introduction scene.
I love it.
If I had the boner, it would be so hard. I've heard Hackride say that. It would be very hard, David Collins. I know that boners are hard with me because it's hard to pee when you have a boner, but This is not the place to talk about boners. It's the place to talk about your future show and your ambition. You want to be a headlining comedian. Is that true?
Well, no, it would just be a fun project to go through the process and show exactly what that entails, and even in headlining a club somewhere here in the Midwest.
Well, I think we should set our sights higher than that, David Collins, because I think not only will you be a superstar of the Midwest, I think you will be a superstar of the world and the planet, both of them. And so I will ask you, David Collins, anything you need, you have. I think you should come out to California and do shows on the West Coast, because your sort of weirdness is the sort of weirdness that the West Coast liberals love. And I can introduce you to a bunch of them, because we all hang out at the parties where we drink baby... Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Well, I may be concerned that some of your peers may not enjoy some of this material that we'll have to, I guess, we'll see by the show when things are coming out there. But like we've already teased on the show, and like I've mentioned, not a fan of flying. In fact, I have a lot of opinions on this airport situation for many years now. But we may take a driving trip out to the Northeast and maybe see if we could do some shows out there, and that might be a fun opportunity to promote many things.
There too.
Yes. And then you would get on the Highway 66 and head to Santa Monica. Please, I got to taste your poop again. And I don't have feet. I don't know how to get to you. Can you make that happen, David? I must taste your sphincter.
Colorado, October. Just kidding.
It's over a mountain. I can't climb a mountain, David Collins. But David Collins, you have been amazing for joining me here tonight. This is in GEARBOX. I have one more thing to announce. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the for contest that we have done. Yes, tonight on the Blind Mike Project, or this morning, I appeared magically for 1 second on screen. And if you can give me the timestamp of that, the first person that gives me the timestamp of when Hackride appeared on screen, just for a second, gets a free Hackio from Hackride Studios. So we're doing a contest. If you like us, we'll send you a Hackio. You gotta pick who you get. You can pick me. I'll tell you I want your poop. So that's what they're doing. That's how you do it, David Collins.
It's gonna be pretty tricky with how many times Craig went in and out.
Yes, but there was a very particular moment when Hackride came in. And if you give me the rough timestamp of that, the first one, you get a free Hackio. And what that does is it makes all these people go watch Blind Mike. Because I want you to go watch Blind Mike. BlindMike.net.
I was very active during the show, and I did not notice. Are you sure that there's an apparent moment?
There is. I know the timestamp exactly. So go to BlindMike.net.
Is it at 36 something?
I'm not giving you the cheat code.
Am I pretty close?
Yeah, if you work or appear on the Blind Mike Project, you cannot participate in the game. I'm sorry.
Well, you have to tell me if I'm pretty close, though, right?
Oh, damn.
No,
I can't play?
No, you can't play. With only genitals you can play, but not with that game. No.
Electra Fry, would you guess around 35 to 42? That would be my speculation.
I'm going more like 140.
What? You are crazy. Both of you are crazy pills. When did you get the crazy pills and give them to our guest DJ, Electra? Because you should have given me some crazy pills. Because I like crazy pills, and you didn't give them to me. Can I ask you something, one more thing before we go, David Collins? How does this make you feel?
Am I waiting?
No, we're just watching. See, I could watch that. I could watch that for 10 hours, David.
Makes me feel like I didn't skip an ad.
What?
I said that it makes me feel like that I did not skip an ad.
I'm gonna have to watch this later and see if that's funny because I don't get it right now.
Skip an ad.
I'm still not getting it.
You know, skip an ad, the 1940s vaudeville performer.
Oh, yes! Yes, we all know he was famous for his very long poops, and that's how I know him.
Oh, I thought he was talking about nads.
See, we all were lost on that one, David Collins. Way to leave the show on a dud. This is something you're going to have to work on because you want to leave with an explosion, not a dud. But David Collins, speaking of duds, tell us about your plugs. Where can you?
Oh, well, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. I believe your audience is very familiar. In fact, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour, if you are on YouTube at David Collins Show, the reality show, I think, is going to be exclusive to YouTube at this point. We might end up putting on a Rumble and maybe some other video, but I think it's a very important video format, so I think it's going to only found itself on video platforms. So if you follow me on YouTube, it's at David Collins Show.
That's
I was thinking I had a bit of a climactic ending here, but it's going to be ending up being in an unlisted YouTube link that I can't even find, so I don't even think that's appropriate. But I do have a fun circus trick that I've done before, and I thought that, maybe that would just be fun to share with you personally, Hackride.
Well, the Hackride's not here, but Jan, not John, would love to see your trick. And if you tie your penis into a nut, I'll send you $100.
We could negotiate that count.
Okay.
I like pretzel penises. Show me what you got.
I certainly hope you're not waiting on me right now. I thought I could pull this up just briefly on my end here, but it might be a little more of a process. So I'm hoping
I can
that
play the drum roll many times.
Moving on with the show.
No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna stay right here, David Collins.
Do you think that I would be doing a trick? No, I have a nice clip of somebody else who recorded me doing this trick once, very intoxicated at a bar. It was maybe a little personal to you. It would be a YouTube link that I would send you, so it would not even be something that you would easily be able to. Can you search liked videos? That's an interesting process here to pull up something like this. How would you even go about that?
David Collins, now who's sabotaging you?
You're in full control over the show.
No, you have taken control, David Collins, because all I want to do is eat your feces and you won't give it to me because you won't come across the Rockies because you're scared of the West Coast for some reason.
Oh, well, it's a flying thing. It's not necessarily a West Coast thing.
I'll fly you in, baby doll. As long as you hold your
Please don't call me that.
You just hold your poop for 3 weeks for me so I can get the acrid taste of your languishing shit in your belly. Is that a deal, David Collins?
I'm hoping so much that it just appears in front of me here. But I don't think... this, of course, is not important to the process of your show here.
DJ Electra Fry, if you do that again, I'm going to put my penis in the...
Is she
behind
closing
of
the
David
show?
Collins.
I think that might be
Yes,
appropriate.
Yes, she shut us down.
Gearbox.
Why do you keep shutting us down, DJ Electra Fry?
It's just... It's
It's
good.
time to go. David Collins, it's time to go. When a woman
Thank you,
says
David Collins, so much for being here.
Oh, well,
It's
thanks so
fun.
much. It's went on for so long. I can't imagine that the viewership. I think I got my promos out much earlier in the show. Just
Yes,
here
David.
enjoying the time.
She's probably bleeding and needs to get to a
Meanwhile, I'm
napkin.
searching for this clip. You two will personally enjoy this so much later. It's too bad that the viewers won't get an opportunity to see it.
Well, we can wait.
No, we're not going to wait.
That's an
No.
insane query.
He said query. He said query while he's standing
Query.
behind a big black pole. You're a query with a big black pole. All right, folks, that's our show.
And make sure to tune in to Blind Mike Project every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. And go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike related. Now, here's Boss Macca Stripper's Breath. Subscribe at BossMac509.
Yeah. It's your boy Boss Macca. Alleyway Productions. Sit on back, relax. We just gonna talk some shit. Ain't no topic, off the dome, you know? No stripper's breath, and it's fresh like Banaka. Brown hair, brown eyes, her name was Bianca. High fashion, she liked to wear Balenciaga. Met her in Mexico at the Hacienda. She chose me, cause she know I wanna honor. I looked her dead in the eyes and said that I want her. We got well acquainted, her uncle was a plug with the marijuana. The only problem, he couldn't get him no further than Tijuana. He said the DEA was all up on him. I told him don't trip, I don't want no Bama weed with no seeds and no sticks. What I want is some bricks. Man, is you sick? Take me to Hefe where I get 100 sticks. Tell him to deliver that shit. I'll be waiting in Arkansas, posted with my grip. When it's noches, my niggas, it's time for me to dip.